we are live. Sorry, it took me a second to... Hello, everyone. I would say live is maybe a stretch for me because I'm not feeling overly alive. Because I did a 14-hour flight and I landed at 5 a.m. and I have tried to beat the jet lag. So I had like an hour and a half nap in the afternoon. I did. Oh, fuck. It's not coming through the right...
They can't hear us.
They
They
can't
just
hear
live
us.
and quiet.
They missed all of those amazing bits. Honestly,
Can they hear us now?
Yeah,
Can you hear us now?
now?
Yeah,
I hope so.
Good stuff.
Honestly,
Well,
it was good because I was playing 3 DMCA-able songs kind of simultaneously under everything.
Well, one of them was "Fuck the Police." So.
Yeah.
It all checks out.
Thank you, Teeny, for letting us know.
Thanks,
Adam,
Teeny.
you were saying about your you not feeling
I'm
alive,
not feeling
even though we
super
are
alive
live.
because I have been, other than a brief hour and a half nap, I've been awake for like 20, 30 hours.
I was going to say, that sounds like a normal day for you, though,
true,
my guy. Like,
true.
that's a normal week for you at somewhere.
I've been
over
awake for
24
an
hours.
extreme amount of time and I'm streaming. What?
What?
What is this, a Thursday?
In any case, we are very excited to be back here with the actual series finale last time. We tried to have the series finale last time, but too many good things were happening in Clementine for us to wrap up. You may notice we are down 1 tonight. Becca has big school things that are happening, and we are so proud of her, but unfortunately she will not be able to be here tonight. But rest assured, a wonderful ending in the desert will occur for Hass, and we will see that play out this evening. I'm going to do some very quick announcements, and then we're going to jump into some good eldritch Western fun times. Okay, so as the world moves steadily forward, please consider donating to reputable organizations to help those fleeing and fighting against terror, war, and oppression. You can type !action to find links on how to donate to refugees fleeing Ukraine. As well as supporting sensible gun control, as well as getting those bans off our bodies. So please go support all of those things. A big thank you to those of you who are our sponsors, Legendcraft and Nerdy Woodworking Company from Calgary. Check them out, and if anything tickles your fancy, enter the code Blackwater at discount. We're also proud to be sponsored by Sirenscape because epic games require epic sound. We have some amazing partners. Legend Keeper is an ultimate world building tool created by DMs for DMs. It is just such a beautiful program. They're a group of small creators based in both Canada and the US. They're constantly upgrading and rolling out new software. Type Legend Keeper for all the info. Love is always to our dice goddess Keisha and our artist Tiana Kovacevic, who you can find at Mr._Marston on Instagram. Tiana's commissions are open, so please go support her fixing her computers. You can DM her to get yourself some art right now at 20% off. So like, go get some fucking art for yourself. We have a merch, we have Discord, we have lots of merch. We have a Discord and YouTube.
The single merch, and it's pretty good.
It is a tattoo.
Definitely acceptable plus.
Yes. So please go. Our links will be up in that way, I think, for all of the they're that way for all of the stuff. A big thank you to those of you who subscribe to us. Don't forget to re-up your subscriptions as they don't roll over every month. You can also sub with Amazon Prime. You can get 1 free sub every month. And if you want to support us above and beyond subscription, type !donate in the chat. We're also just really thankful to have you all here supporting our show, telling your friends, hanging out week after week. It is a truly wonderful, good time. We are, a lot of us are still recovering from illness and life. So thank you for bearing with us. Thank you all so much for joining me for some sweet world building streams. I have been having so much fun. We are so close. We are so close to finishing the Pantheon. I can taste it. I'm so excited to finish that off with you guys next session, whenever that happens to be. But we are very excited to be back this Saturday with our main campaign. We're all chomping at the bit to get back to the table, and very, very, very excited to come play. It has been a hot minute since we have been in the splish splash of the water elemental plane. So I'm very excited to jump back in this Saturday. Dive in with 2 feet. So lastly, whether you're new with us tonight or you've been with us for ages, thank you so much for your support. We love you immensely, and thank you for hanging out with us at our table. It is also Pride Month. June 1st is Pride Month. So love all the queers in your life
Rainbow
extra
Brigade.
hard this month. You should love them all the time, exactly for who they are. We are very proud at our tables to that a lot of our cast is queer. Our stories are queer. Our world is queer. So please, please, please love on the queer folks in your life. And also support queer-owned small businesses this month rather than bigger corporations who happen just to have good Pride Month stuff. Please, please, please support small creators. There are tons out there who would love to sell you their wonderful Pride products. So thank you so much. We are very excited for tonight, and let's get...
I want to say that life has kind of helped tell this story tonight because, you know, Tim recovering from an illness. I am so jet lagged. And our characters both had a building both explode and then collapse on us. So it really works out.
That's about how I felt this weekend.
Exactly.
So yeah.
That's around about how I'm feeling right now. Is like a small building fell on my head. So
and with that, roll the clip, Adam. Roll the
Adam, I hear we have a
our desktop audio one. Truly.
desktop audio is on.
Desktop
My mic is
and we
on.
are back. We are back.
My worry is that if this fucking cord pops out, it's gonna not just mute me, but mute everyone, and so I'm gonna keep someone else
your
talk.
spinal
Okay,
cord?
we're good. Yeah, that.
Because if that pops out, you don't hear anything. No one else hears from you ever again.
That's a very Spagg question.
That's the ultimate mute.
The ultimate mute button.
Never drop character, Erik. Just
Ever. All right, everyone. Officially, for the very last time, as these characters fix their way to ride off into the sunset, let's get weird. Last time on the Weird West, we found Hass, Spagg, Slender Marv, Wyatt, and the good Dr. Clampton facing off against Mesa and Dahlia in the street outside Geraldine Capshaw's following the seance. With Dahlia dispatched, they took the opportunity to get some information out of the Spectre version of Mesa before Spagg sent Mesa off to disappear with the sunrise.
yeah.
They were then called into the home of Allison Bainbridge by her father, Richard, stating that the Dupree brothers were inside and they wanted to talk. They wished for the group to get Galwood to sign away the mine legally to them. However, remembering that Richard Bainbridge had purchased a large quantity of dynamite, Wyatt realized the dynamite was beneath the floorboards and set off a chain reaction. The party fought against the Duprees, who changed into their full forms of Oth, high servants of the Shoth, and even fused together as one to try and save themselves, but not before the house exploded. Richard Bainbridge was downed, as was Marv, before the Reverend revived them both by the grace of God, and Galwood was freed from the cabinet he had been held inside by an orb of the Zom. The Duprees had also solidified into a large hunk of lunarium, which was shattered by the Reverend with his cane as he called lightning down, ending their ability to coalesce into their more powerful forms once more. Oh, Adam, we've lost.
No,
everyone.
it's fine. No, don't pay attention to me trying to open my character sheet. I was like, the annoying thing is, it opened the window on the right monitor, and then it just was like, I'm going over here now.
I'm going over here now. And finally, Spagg and Marv, we find them both under the effects of exceedingly potent doses of LSD. So,
right, yes. I had
as
forgotten
you
about
gather
the LSD.
yourselves in the street, the town managing the scene around you, Haas having gone to fetch Geraldine Capshaw, who has come running with salves and tonics, and all of the aunties and grannies and young women who do most of the healing in town that is not done by a doctor. They set to taking care of everyone. Allison is kind of sitting on the side near you with her father, Richard, as you all kind of take a moment. Their house is in shambles in front of you. There are pieces of lunarium all over the inside of the house, shattered. Now, too small, smaller than you had seen in any of the shapes before, the Reverend really having done a number on that rock. What would you like to do?
Marv is bloodied, high as fuck, apparently.
Yeah, you both are very, very high.
Well, yeah.
So I threw LSD in your face and then licked it out of your wounds, correct?
That is
Yep.
correct.
That
What
is
happened?
the series of events that occurred.
We have a
yes.
special relationship, you know, Spagg.
And as you're looking at Spagg, you and Marv, as you're kind of taking in the moment here, lock eyes with each other, realizing that you're both feeling some of the same effects of, excuse me, whatever this substance is. I'm going to have you both roll me a D100, please.
Okay.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Basically.
Here we go. First
Tam
roll of the
Clampton
night, baby.
is barely
48,
standing.
the sex number.
48. Okay. All right.
40.
And a 40. Okay. So, Spagg, you watch as you're sitting there taking in the scene around you. You take a moment and you sigh and you look down at yourself and you see that your body is shimmering. You feel like parts of your body are going kind of both solid, and then they'll start to shake and shimmer, blurring so that you can't see them. And you're having a very hard time figuring out what is real and what is not. But your body seems to, if you were to be in combat, you would be under the effects of the blur spell at the moment.
When you say what is real and what is not, do you mean what is on the physical plane and what is
from the great
traversing
beyond? Yes.
through the spirit plane?
Yes,
I
I
am
do.
in both at once. Very good.
You feel that way. You might not be, but you at least feel that way.
I am.
You are.
Good.
All right. And Marv, I'm going to have you roll me a d20, please.
A 14.
Okay. So there is a moment where you're sitting there and you feel like everything speeds up for a very, very brief second. And it's almost as if you're looking into the future. You're watching your companions around you going about their business, doing the things that you predict they would do after this. And the next time a creature makes an ability check, attack roll, or a saving throw, the number will be replaced with the roll that you rolled.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. You can actually, I'll put it this way, you can choose to intervene and make that change for them, because you have seen briefly into the future. Essentially, it's like a divination wizard would
portent,
be.
Yeah,
portent, yes.
Thank you, Rolls After Dark, for the raid.
Oh, thank you so much. Welcome in, Raiders. So for now, these are the effects that you feel.
Dope.
Will that change? Absolutely it will, when we decide the time is right.
So Marv is sitting in the dust, and while he's kind of zoned out, you can see he's absent-mindedly poking at his body, at his jawbone, at his nose. You can see him cracking his knuckles. Like, he's not thinking about it. He's bug-eyed watching everything else, but he's poking himself right now.
Both of you also have disadvantage on all perception and insight checks while you are under this effects. And if you are doing any damage spells, you add your spell casting bonus to all spell damage.
Groovy.
Yes. And I'll have you both roll 2d12 for me, please.
Great.
So many dice.
I know. I had to come up with some mechanics for how LSD work.
Oh, that's an 8
Okay.
and an 11, then a 19.
Okay. So you are under the effects of LSD for the next 19 hours.
Wow. 6 and an 8 for Marv.
Yeah. So you're under the effects of this LSD for the next 14 hours.
Is our employer like alive? Last time he was in like a drawer covered in goo.
He is on the ground. You have revived him. Like he is barely alive. When the last time you saw him was in the cabinet, Tam and Wyatt had barely any way to get the cabinet out. It was so heavy, but the explosion and the Duprees death released the Zom, this orange ball that had extended with the tentacles out that had was piercing him and putting him in this cabinet, basically suspending him there. He's barely alive. He's breathing and he's conscious. But I would say if I was to estimate how many hit points he had, it would be not many.
I think Wyatt has just found somewhere to prop his back up against and is just kind of sitting with his gun in his lap pointed towards the blown up house and his whistle breathing where he's like, because something has been knocked loose inside him. It's just every breath is a whistle sound and he's just kind of sitting with his back just
Wyatt, as you're sitting there, you see a young woman come over and she has a bunch of bottles held up in her dress, and she kneels down next to you and she goes, sir, are you okay?
Yeah, I just I got my bell rung a little bit.
I can see that you're bleeding. Can I help?
Yeah. Bleed. What? Where am I bleed? Sorry, who are you?
My name's Julia.
Nice to meet you, Julia. It's real kind of you to come help.
So she is gonna just lightly dress your wounds. You can gain back 7 hit points.
Hell yeah, that puts me at 8 hit points.
And the rest of you as well see a couple younger women and people grannies, essentially, Mimas, coming in and tending to your wounds. They go to see Galwood.
Thank you for the
let's
raid,
roll
No
that up.
Man. Lovely to see you.
Oh, thank you so much, No Man. Welcome in, my dear. Hello.
No one raids like No Man.
That's very true. We love No Man's community here. That is going to be 9 hit points for the rest of you. We'll say that they come over, offer some tinctures and salves to patch you up a bit. Galwood is healed there as well. And you see Allison and Richard sitting there as well, kind of propped up against. Richard has he's not unconscious, he's just kind of resting, and Allison is just sitting there taking a breath in as she looks over at you, making sure that you folks are okay. What would you like to do?
Well, Mr. Galwood or Tim, did you want to?
Tam would like to make his way over to the jail, to the sheriff's office.
Would you go alone, or would you go? Would you wait with the rest of the group?
I'd wait with the rest of them.
Okay.
He's
okay.
pretty wobbly at this point.
I would say it's also probably around
limping.
3 a.m. at this point.
If I saw Tam kind of glancing toward the jail, I'd kind of wave off Julia and be like, "All right, time to get up. All right,
sir, you shouldn't get okay. Let me help you. Let me help you.
It's good.
She helps you up.
I only have
quite
a few
strong.
broken bones. It's fine.
You need some rest.
Oh no,
Jeez.
I plan on it, but there's
Lord above, you need some
there's
rest.
things to be done. Doctor, should we check on our
Well, I think Spagg
incarcerated?
wanted to speak to Mr. Galwood first.
Well,
Spagg is licking a brick right now. Spagg, you doing all right?
It only appears like a brick to you.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
I think if you tried to look with your 4th eye, that's the eye that's behind your 3rd eye. It's really special. Mr. Galwood.
Yes. Professor Meeball, what can I do for you? And he like coughs up, and there's like a hunk of blood.
Question's
coalesced
not what
blood.
can you do for me, but what have we done for you? We did the whole job and got you out of that spooky, spooky goo closet. I think we deserve the goodies, please.
He props himself up on two elbows, looking up at you, and he goes, I mean, yeah, you did do the job. Forgive me, Spagg. I don't have anything on me at the moment. And I'm gonna need to go back to my office.
Okay.
And collect myself. And why don't you come visit me in the morning?
We're going to the jail.
There's a nice tile right next to you. I'm sure if you just hand that over, that'll satisfy him for now. It looks like he's a little. Your pupils are like real different shapes right now, Spagg. It's kind of freaky.
Are they still circular?
Yeah, but like one's way bigger than the other.
Well, I'll have to work on that. Hey, how about this? We're going to the jail, and when we come back, you produce the goodies. Good working with you.
No pressure, sir. You were in a large explosion.
I am happy to accommodate whatever you need in the morning. I'll catch a bit of sleep. I have been in there for almost a day now. So if you just give me a bit of time, I can make this happen for you, Spagg. No doubt, indeed.
Spagg, he seems to me like an honest man, so I feel safe that
I roll insight with disadvantage.
Absolutely, please do so.
Oh, okay. 6.
Yeah, he is 100% telling the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very genuine to you at the moment. You were like, yep, when we get there in the morning after he has slept, he is going to deliver on all of the things that he has promised.
You know what I thought to myself just now when you said you delivered in the morning? I said, would Mr. Gallwood do that? And by gall, he would.
A small smirk pulls at his like sooty, dirty, blood-stained, pale, gaunt face at this point. He goes, yeah, you got me there. Spagg, you got me there, friend. Yeah. And you see Crannies very, very slowly just tootling his way down towards you. It's so slow. And he like makes his way over eventually and like helps Gallwood up, and they begin the slow walk back to the Cup and Pony so that Gallwood can go lie down for a bit and have a rest before he has to deliver on all of the things that you've done for him.
Y'all reckon we should go let the sheriff know he's regained his position?
Yeah, what happened to? What happened to the other sheriff? Because the Duprees were the
Severin. Yeah, you haven't seen Severin at all. When you went into the office, it was the middle of the night. Bailiff Johnston was there, and you told Pal that you said, "Hey, Pal, we're getting you out of prison right now." And Pal was like, "No, I'm sticking to the letter of the law with this one." And then you left. But you have not met Sheriff Severin yet.
What?
Suppose he's going to be there in the middle of the night again. It wasn't last time.
I feel like I think we go in, make.
I mean, what kind of sheriff isn't around right now?
A building just exploded and he's nowhere to be seen. So I feel like
Is he around? I have not.
There's like it's like 3 a.m. The town.
No
is
sheriff
awake.
around.
You don't see the sheriff. No.
Gee.
I would assume, we blew up, all of the dynamite in this town under a building, and Severin's nowhere to be seen. So I feel like he might not be in the office, but I think we go in, cautiously.
What do y'all think?
Well, it seems like we killed all the space goo. So if Severin's like a bad guy, he's just good old-fashioned bad person. So like, not a problem, I guess.
True.
If he's bad, we just shoot him like in his body, and then he bleeds a lot, right?
That is what shooting someone in their body does, yeah.
We did also leave a bad taste in the bailiff's mouth last time we were there.
That is
It was
also
not,
true.
You did.
I would also say that
kind.
the Dupree brothers were real interested in getting their hands on the mine, and I feel like
Perhaps we
we
can wait
dealt
till
with the
morning.
immediate problem, but I would not be surprised if there was still a big pool of goo up there.
We did that the first time, but yeah.
Yeah, but like we didn't kill that goo. It's still there.
Situation is not resolved.
Yeah, it's still, goo.
Perhaps we should take a rest then, and I'm
Yeah.
sure Pal's sleeping anyways.
Pal's gonna get out by the letter of the law.
I would say, honestly, I'm surprised I can hear any of y'all because, I'm still kind of ringing a bit.
Yeah, you got a bit of like a
Yeah,
wah,
yeah.
wah,
But I
sound
feel like
in your ears.
if anyone in town did not hear what just occurred, they ain't listening. Even asleep. That was that was loud.
So what would you like to do? Where would you like to go?
Are we resting? Because I
think I ought to rest.
Okay, I can make a plan for the night then.
Okay. You have rooms at the Cup and Pony. You can also
not
stay
going to
in
the
the
Cup and Pony.
church. Whatever you, those are Wyatt and Spagg, Hass and Marv. You have rooms at the Cup and Pony. But Tam, you have a place at the church.
I go
Whatever
sleep
you.
in the church.
I'm gonna head to the Ambrosia. Is the name?
Okay.
Yeah, and remind me because
yes.
I remember the name Delilah and I remember the name Tulip, but I think those were the bad ones.
Tulip is your girl.
Tulip is okay. I was like,
yeah,
I can't
Delilah
remember.
was bad. Delilah was so bad, and you absolutely destroyed her in the street. Delilah and Mesa were the bad ones.
Mesa, yeah.
But Tulip is your girl. Yeah. Okay, so we'll have Tam go into the church. Wyatt is going to the Ambrosia. Spagg and Marv, where are you headed?
I would like to accompany the doctor, if I may.
Okay, sounds good. And Spagg,
Absolutely.
where does your wandering take you?
It's a great question.
Does he sleep?
Absolutely not. He doesn't want to go to sleep.
I'm glad that we're on the same page. I don't plan on sleeping either.
He doesn't want to go to sleep, but he doesn't want to split the party and just has his own solo adventure.
I like to think that he just stands in the middle of the town looking straight up. Just like
I think
praise the sun.
Is he going to the goo? Is he going to the goo?
well,
That's a day
there's
and a half. It's a day's whole day's ride.
Yeah,
to
there's
get to
no
the
goo nearby.
Mm-mm.
What's the highest point within eyeshot?
The highest point within eyeshot would probably be the bell tower of the church.
Yeah, I'd love to be there. I'd like to get right up top, so that way I'm the first person in all the land who sees the sun come up first, and thus I get to name it. And by naming it, I possess it.
I think Sean, in preparation for this episode,
Did Sean take a bunch of
LSD?
Uh-huh.
I'm getting
Absolutely.
real LSD vibes.
I love this. Okay, perfect. So we will resolve.
And I'll take a short rest in anticipation of
A
that.
short rest. Okay, wonderful. So we'll resolve the church first. So we'll head
as a note, I would like to pocket a bit of lunarium that is scattered about. I'd like to take a few, we'll say, golf ball or smaller size chunks. Like
sounds good.
2 or
You
3.
also have Mesa's necklace on as well. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you do so. You can put that in your inventory. So the three of you, as well as Hass, head over to the church. There are some cots. It's and Tam, you have your lodgings within the church, the reverend's office and stuff like that. So you are able to find comfortable enough lodging. Spagg, I'm going to have you the stairs up to the part, there's like a little walk around of the bell so that the bell could be serviced itself. That's probably the highest point. But if you would like to get on top of the steeple, I'm going to have you roll me. I'm actually going to have you describe to me how you get up there. and then you will figure out what check you're going to make to get up there. But you're going to roll me a D100 first.
Okay.
You clamber up that bell. Ding,
We
ding.
don't clamber up the bell. That'd be 44.
That'd be crazy.
Okay. As you're staring at this bell and like trying to figure out how to get up there, you find yourself nodding off for a sec, and you fall asleep standing up, and you gain the full benefits of a long rest.
Sure.
Amazing.
I'm not lying. That's what the table says, man. That's what the table says. So you gain the full benefits of a long rest after having the deepest sleep you can for a minute.
Edison.
I think he died. I think that's like he's died for a minute.
Close my eyes, and I don't wake up back where I was standing. I wake up on top of the steeple as I cast Misty Step and just teleport up there. Spagg doesn't know how he got up there.
No, absolutely. Only the wind does.
I
Only
enter
the
a
wind.
fugue state
Yes.
and arrive at the top of the steeple more refreshed than I've ever in my life.
No, you feel
Amazing.
fucking alive. Like you have never felt so alive. You are like everything. You see the top of the it's about probably, I would say, by the time this happens, everyone is sleeping downstairs. I would say it's probably about like 5:30. It is, the sun is just about to crest over top of the mountains. The sky is a beautiful like blue and yellow and gold, and it is that the color is so intense. You're already feeling the warmth on your skin. There's like a little bit of a breeze that just feels like someone is just pulling feathers across your face. It's magical. It's a magical feeling. You taste the sound of the birds that are singing around you.
And honestly, does Spagg pee just a little bit?
I think the separation between dryness and wetness exists completely in the mind. Is in the last wee slivers of nighttime, is there an invisible moon?
I would say there's a little bit of there. I think
we're talking full moon, waxing, waning.
I think we had said it was pretty full last time, if I remember correctly.
I look up at the moon and I say, "Thanks for the assist," and I give it a little wink.
Amazing. Okay.
And I prepare to claim my prize.
Okay. The sun slowly the sun slowly begins to crest over the mountains. And you see the bright light kind of emanate through, and you could swear that it's waving good morning to you.
And I say, "Good morning, Spagg Edison Meeball Jr., my son."
It rises as if to say, "Thank you, Papa."
I've never been more proud, and I'm just gonna weep openly.
Just standing on top of a fucking steeple, just full weeping. I also feel like is Spagg naked at this point? I feel like the Misty Step, like the between Misty stepping to the top, clothes were lost. Like, surely.
Adam, I'd like for you to roll me a D100.
Okay, all right.
I know I've done well when my players are calling for dice rolls from each other. That makes me happy.
That is a 6.
He's 6% dressed. There is
what does 6% dress mean?
Yeah. a
soiled
tasteful
ascot.
kerchief.
A tasteful ascot.
Wow.
Which, importantly, he wasn't wearing the last time you saw him.
I was going to say
that's
Spagg
so
wasn't wearing
good.
an
He's just
ascot last
found
time.
an ascot.
I love this. Spagg, you spend the
Oh my
most
God.
glorious like hour and a half of your life standing on this
So good.
steeple, watching your son ascend
Family's
into the sky.
important. Family's
Yes.
the most important thing. Yeah.
Tam and Marv, is there anything that you would like to do here in the church before you take your long rest?
I pray. I kneel at the altar and I pray.
Here, roll me a religion check, please.
Not great because I'm feeling bad. That's
your
an
faith been
11.
shaken?
Yeah.
Okay, so as with your 11, your prayers come out a bit rushed, and you cough through a bit of them with
I'm so tired, Lord.
So tired. But you know that the sun will rise tomorrow. And
Whose son will it be?
and that
Our next
tomorrow
campaign.
you can start and begin to rebuild your parish, reconnect with your parishioners, or take on whatever steps you so choose.
I want to hear Tim say the word weary in Tam's voice.
I'm so weary.
There it is. That's exactly what I wanted.
Marv.
Marv sits quietly in the church while the Reverend says his prayers, and when that's complete, he would stand up and slowly walk towards him. And I'm assuming you were kneeling in front of the altar.
Oh,
Were you
yeah.
there,
Oh,
Tam?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a large crucifix.
Marv sits down, kind of next to you, cross-legged on the floor. Very unfocused and fuzzy. I don't mean to interrupt you, so I hope you're done, but
No, I am.
if I may, I'd like to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Did this place, this profession, calling, I don't know what word to use for what you do. Did you choose it, or did it choose you?
I most firmly believe that it chose me. It really is a calling. I spent many a year wandering alone, and there was a comfort in the solitude, but there came a time when that changed, and I was caught in a bitter storm on the plains, and I was struck by lightning, and I thought surely that my day had come. There wasn't any civilization around for miles, but in that brief moment of when the lightning struck me, there was a clarity. I understood something I had never understood before, that my life was, up until that point, all about me. And I suppose I had a change of heart when I came to the next day. A priest had found me, old fellow. He just happened to be riding the same trail that I was, about a day behind. And he helped me. And I realized that I had to give back. I had to serve others, just as he had served me. So it's not so much about the book that I carry around or the prayers that I say. It's about service. I just live to serve.
Marv is going to take out the lunarium from his pocket and unfasten the one that he has around his neck. And he's going to kind of put them on the floor just in front of where his ankles are crossed over. He's just going to kind of stare at them in kind of the state that he's in. I've spent most of my life out alone as well. Hunting, tracking, things that I love, things that I do well, things that provide a service for folks when they ask. It's what brought me here. I'm not satisfied with what I've found yet.
Hmm.
And he starts kind of fiddling with the rocks, just one finger just rolling them around as he's thinking and talking. You offered me an opportunity to, I don't remember how you put it, but more or less be purged of any potential demon or what these things were,
Mm-hmm.
and I declined you. And I think I must continue to decline. These beings, they chose me for something.
Hmm.
And I was really angry that I couldn't find out what. And I'm still angry. It's kind of looks at his hands covered in dirt and blood. But I think I need an answer. So it's good to know that you can be chosen and follow. And even if it's a strange path, it's all right.
Absolutely.
How did you know where your path would go? Did you?
That's the beauty of it. I didn't, and I don't foresee that I ever will. It's not really about destination, but more the journey itself.
You plan to stay in Clementine?
I do.
I was thinking about doing the same.
Well, there's far worse places you could land. And there's a lot of folks right now probably need some help.
If you'll have me, I wouldn't mind keeping your company and having a few more of these talks. I'm
It would be my pleasure.
not much for the spiritual or the philosophical. I
Oh, that's no
tend to try
matter.
and see things as they are, but this last few days, things as they are aren't.
Yes, it has certainly opened up my, expanded my horizons. That's for sure. But absolutely, I will keep your company. And I don't know if you much like card games, but in my spare time, I often like to, play a card game or two. Now that Pal, hopefully, should he agree to be released from prison, maybe we can get a little game going.
You'll have to teach me. All I know is a few types of solitaire, but
Oh.
that sounds
Well, let
just
me
fine by
expand
me.
your horizons.
I appreciate that. And thank you for entertaining my meandering thoughts. I'm
Of course.
a little out of sorts, as I think we all are.
Yes, indeed.
I think I'll go sit on the porch for a while.
Sure. I have some
Have a good night.
bedding set out for you, should you like.
Thanks. And
Amazing.
Marv will pick up 3 out of the 4 stones. He'll leave one on the floor and kind of put them back in his pocket. And he's jingling them like loose change in his pocket. It's audible.
Okay.
Kind of a clacking sound. And he goes and sits out on the stoop or the porch or whatever this structure has and just kind of stares off into middle distances.
So handsomely into the middle distance.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Tam would take that last rock and just put it at the foot of the crucifix.
Amazing.
And then limp upstairs to his bed.
Fantastic. Okay. And Marv, do you sleep?
I don't think so. I think the effects of whatever I'm under and the
Yeah.
questions that coming near death and dealing with these creatures, the world is a little topsy-turvy and upside down, but not altogether unbeautiful in Marv's mind right now.
Okay.
happy's not the right word, but there's a sense of purpose in the insanity that just happened for Marv in his current state. And so
I
he's
love
just
that.
going to kind of loosely ponder and reflect.
Okay. You can take a full short, like a short rest. If you've
Yeah.
got to roll hit dice and stuff like that. So, okay, awesome. And Wyatt, will you make your way over to the ambrosia?
Yeah, I'd kind of poke my head in, looking for Tulip.
You see that there are a couple patrons inside, but with everything that has happened, it sees most of the clientele has cleared out for the evening. They're still in the process of rebuilding after what happened the previous night. The windows are still, the curtains have been artfully arranged to block most of the broken glass, but you see it's going to be a bit of a while before the ambrosia is back up to her full splendor. But as you come inside, Marcus, the bartender, sees you. Wyatt, you all right?
Yeah, all things considered.
Also, hello, Split the Party TV. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, folks.
Hello.
Yeah.
Here, let me get you a drink.
Yeah,
God
I'd
damn.
appreciate that.
God damn.
Thank
Was
you.
that the blast? Was that you?
Yeah, I was both on top of it and then directly underneath the building that fell.
Jesus
I should
Christ.
not be
And you see him
alive.
pour he starts to pour like a measured pour of 2 fingers of whiskey and then doubles it and he slides it across the bar from you. That's on me, friend.
I appreciate you very much.
Absolutely.
I got some bad news.
Bad news.
Well,
Other than the explosion that happened in town.
Mason and Delilah are less alive than they were last time you saw them. It's
Good riddance after what they did to Madam.
Yeah. But
Yeah, no, they wouldn't have been welcome back here. We're going to start cleaning their rooms out.
It's good to hear.
Was that you also and and everyone else?
It was a collective effort.
Right. Well, that's a weight off our shoulders. Madam Zanziv is still resting, so I'm gonna go take in at some point I gotta go tend to her bandages, but I want to make sure she's.
Is Tulip about?
Yeah, I don't believe she's with anyone right now. You remember where her room is?
Yeah, I have an idea.
He smiles at you.
I'm gonna knock back the whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, let's. You have a good night, okay?
As you walk towards this staircase, Marcus kind of, tips the glass to you. And as you get to the bottom of the stairs, he goes, "Don't break her heart. Okay?"
I'm hoping she won't break mine.
No promises, friend.
Yeah, no, I know.
All right.
Far too good for me. I'm gonna head upstairs.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock
So
on
you
the
go
door.
up and you hear, just a second, and you see her. You hear the 2 locks on the door, and she kind of peeks the door open.
Hey,
What?
So
And she flings open the door, and she starts to come towards you, and she goes, "Oh my gosh,
yeah,
come in, please.
Any standard and all measure, and I'm like, as I'm walking into the room,
Oh my
I
gosh,
should be
please
dead.
come in."
But by some
What the-
grace, I am not, and the only thing that I can think about right now is how much I want to spend the next couple hours in the company of an intelligent, engaging, beautiful woman such as yourself, if that's not too forward to say, and if you'll have me.
Well, you're gonna have to let me take care of you.
Yeah, I have
because you're not getting in my bed like that.
I have a few broken bones.
Yeah.
And I think there is blood somewhere in me that shouldn't I might still die. I had just a whole bunch of dynamite go off underneath me, and then a building
you're not
fell on my
dying
head.
in my bed or in my room.
I'll die next to your bed. Oh well, I can die outside the door.
Okay.
Then I'll sit out on the stairs.
Why do you trust me?
I don't. Please don't make me laugh. It's so painful. Yeah, I trust you.
Okay.
Even despite her protestations,
Wait here.
I think Wyatt's just kind of knelt down and sitting in the chair.
Okay. And she helps prop you up.
Yeah.
You see her grab a couple towels and stuff, and she's like, "Just wait here a second, okay? I'll be right back." So she walks out of the room, leaving the door a little bit open. And she's gone for a few minutes.
I think any amount of time passing in which Wyatt is like propped up in a comfortable chair, he's like out, just like fully asleep. Asleep / unconscious.
So you don't know how long she's gone for then. But she comes back and she kind of rouses you gently. She goes,
hello.
You got hit on the head pretty hard. You shouldn't be sleeping right away. Come on. Here, let me help you up. So she helps get you up.
Sorry, who are you? I'm
kidding.
It's fine.
Get out of here.
But I
and
did.
So
you are right. My bell got rung.
So she supports you, and she's strong. Like she can carry. You lean into her, and she can carry your shoulder your weight as you walk down the hall. She leads you around the veranda, or around the kind of outlook observation area, and walks around, and you start to smell lavender and a little bit of sandalwood, and you hear the sound of running water. And you go and you open, and she has drawn you a bath. So she walks you in. She goes, "You don't get to say no, okay?"
I wasn't about to. This sounds lovely.
And so she stands in front of you, and she starts slowly undressing you.
I feel like his shirt is already mostly dissolved.
She gently takes it, and she you see the wounds. You almost hear her wincing at them. It doesn't seem like she's disgusted by them in the slightest. It's just she sees you in pain, and it hurts her. It's weighing on her. It's so gentle how she undresses you. And the bathtub is very large. It's very clear this is an entertaining room also. But she has commandeered it. It is 4 a.m. There's nobody here. So she helps you slide into the bath. The water is warm. There are bubbles. And she then slips off her robe, and she climbs in on the other side and sits across from you.
Well, this
is just so you don't pass out.
Yeah, this is
in the tub.
But
I don't want you to drown here. Yeah. I told you there's no dying in my house.
I get it. This is a tonal shift of my day, though, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this part of the day more than the part of the day where the building blew up underneath me. So
does that happen often? Buildings blowing up underneath you?
Only when I shoot dynamite. But we did kill an ooze monster from the stars, so.
From the stars?
Oh, shit.
Okay.
God damn.
Here.
I ain't gonna be able to laugh for a while.
She comes over, and you see her pull a small washcloth, and she pours some sort of liquid onto it, and she goes, "This might sting a bit, but I think you can take it." And she starts gently cleaning your wounds. She sits very close to you. Her hair is beautiful, just just mass of brown curls is just kind of piled up on her head, and you can see some remnants of the day's makeup that she has yet to take off. And you see, as she's sitting close to you, she has freckles on her cheeks and on her shoulders, sun-kissed, and she takes time with you, gently cleaning you and washing you and making sure you're comfortable. She asks before she touches anywhere that looks too sore, and you can tell from the way that she is with you that this gentleness is not just a byproduct of her work and her job. This is who she is. Strong, kind, gentle, and fierce also. She finally finishes that, and she kind of sits close to you.
I gotta say, all these ooze folk that we've been running into, we've been talking about how much they want our bones, but I don't think they're gonna want mine much, given their state.
I'm sure you'll be all right after a little bit of rest. I think a very comfortable bed will do you quite fine, as long as I'm here to take care of you for a little bit.
Yeah, I would very much like to kiss you right now, if that's okay.
Are you in any state to be kissing anyone right now?
Who can say? I mean, you are the medical practitioner who has sorted me out, so I think it's your call.
Well, then I think you should kiss me. Doctor's orders.
I'd plant a big kiss on her.
She kisses you back. It's very sexy. You're in a tub with a very beautiful woman.
Oh, it's the classic like tending the wound scene. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think fade to black probably.
You fade to black on that one, yeah?
Very
Okay.
much fade to black at that moment.
Wonderful. So after a beautiful, wonderful fade to black moment in that tub, as much as your body can manage at that point,
It wouldn't be.
you
Wouldn't be a rigorous fade to black.
gentle, very gentle. You move back
It
to
would
your
just be
her
like,
room.
wait, we just gotta.
Shit. Okay. Fuck. Damn.
I thought if you were there, then no.
Goes down to black and then comes up a little bit. And
then Jim's going back.
It is the most tender stop and start love scene anyone has ever seen.
It's so wonderful. She's at this point, you've kind of moved back to her room and you're both just lying in her bed. I'm assuming we fade in and out of black throughout all of this. She looks over at you and she kind of like props herself up on one elbow, sitting next to you. Clementine has been the one place where I think I could be my own person. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot you don't know about me, and there's a lot I don't know about you. But I've been running from a life that was supposed to be perfectly set around me for a really long time. And I mean running far. My daddy was going to try and have me marry the son of one of his business partners. And there was no way that I was going to let that happen, not in your life. I would have been fine, I think, on the outside. I'd have done my job, put on my smile and my pretty dress, and played nice with all those other airheads. But I think I would have hollowed me out inside. So I left. And then I grabbed my money and my horse and my gun, and I just kept going. I just kept riding, Wyatt. And I ran down the East Coast till my money ran out. And then I worked as a seamstress for a bit, but I'm shit with the needle. That was one thing I was never good at.
No, I noticed. Listen.
Okay. She
you
gently flicks a bruise on your shoulder.
You added more than you took away, I will say.
Yeah. And then seamstress work was shit. And so I moved to New Orleans, and then I started doing brothel work. And then I went west, kind of moving each time I had to put more distance between me and my family. And it was like it was never far enough. And about 3 years ago, I found myself passing here through Clementine. And I'd been asked to give Zanziva a note on the way from my previous madam, and I liked her so much that I stayed. And I've been here a couple years now. And then I ran headlong into you.
Well.
And what are you going to do about that, huh?
I mean, I got some business to attend to in this town. I think I'm sticking around for a while at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, amongst a few things. There's a girl in this town who's had a similar, well, no, that's stretching it a bit. Her experience has been far more harrowing and strange, but I know what it feels like to be powerless amongst powerful people. And I know what it takes to claim that power back. So I reckon there's a girl who plays hide and seek real well, but I feel like she won't sleep easy until someone shows her that it's not out of her hands. So I'm gonna stick around and see if we can't train her up a bit. Hell, you're probably a better shot than I. You probably do a better job.
Well, I'd be happy to help if you'll have me.
I would love nothing more.
She scooches her way over a bit closer to you, and she kind of sits herself up a bit. Wyatt, I'm going to be very plain with you. I will hit you like a freight train running.
Please don't. I'm very sore.
I am stubborn. And there are going to be days where I'm going to pick a fight with you simply because I can. I ain't never been good at cooking nor cleaning, and I don't plan on starting now.
I'm a great cook.
Well, that's good. That makes one of us. So if you're okay with that, I have known you the grand total of a day and a half, and I have already decided that I don't want to not know you.
Tulip, I said it on the roof, and I meant it. I will marry you one day.
Well, all right.
All right.
I should probably properly introduce myself, shouldn't I? She holds out her hand. Shoshana Winchester.
Shoshana, it's nice to meet you. My name is Wyatt Cassidy.
Roll me a history check with advantage, please.
Oh, dear. Oh, shit. Yeah, dude. Am I good at history? Yeah, not bad. 23.
So, Winchester.
Oh, that's the
Good
gun.
with the gun. Yeah, you recognize this name. This is Shoshana Winchester, the only heir to the Winchester Gun Company and all of its subsidiaries. The ornate rifle seems pretty fitting for the only baby girl of the biggest gun baron in America.
Shit. Yeah, that lines up. That makes sense.
And she sees the look on your face. You don't have to meet him right away. Maybe one day.
I don't want to make your daddy feel bad about the, quality of gun that I make, I don't want to upstage him that fast.
There's a piece of advice my daddy gave me, and it is one of the only things I take with me from that house. He'd look at me sometimes and I'd ask him why he kept trying with me, even after I kept pushing so hard, rebelling so hard in my younger days. And he said, sometimes, darling, you have to bet on a long shot. Maybe you're my long shot,
I'd take that bet.
Well, all right then. And she, as gently as she can, without hurting you or cracking your ribs any further, she curls in next to you and just puts her head on the crook between your shoulder and your chest. And you can just feel her smile against you. And you have one of the most peaceful sleeps you have had in a very, very long time. Amazing. Whew.
Also, thank
Amazing.
you, Legends of Logomancy, for the raid. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much for the raid, folks. Welcome on in. Welcome to the Weird West.
We're being
We're having some tender times in the
both
Weird West.
physically tender and emotionally
Tender West.
Tenderest West.
Oh. Because the weirdest thing of all is human connection.
That's our show. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Good night. So you awaken in your respective places the next morning. Wyatt, you wake in Tulip's embrace in her bed in the ambrosia. You feel better than you have felt in a very long time. And also with that bath, probably staved off any exhaustion that you might have had the night before. Marv, you have not slept, so you have the effects of a short rest. And I will say, Spagg, you have also probably taken the effects of a short rest.
I already got my long rest.
You got your long rest. That's right. Your one.
Don't you fucking worry about Spagg.
As we wake up the next morning,
momentary coma.
I wake up in the arms of the Lord.
Amen.
Feeling
Amen.
rested and refreshed.
I will have Spagg and Marv roll me another D100, please.
Love that.
So I'm going to say you're probably waking up late morning, probably about noon as of this point, for those of you who slept.
Well done, boy. You're really at your prime.
Yeah, you've just been watching the sun fucking all morning.
Just staring directly at the sun with dilated pupils.
Just like blood dribbling down his cheeks.
Oh my God.
The wonderful
amazing.
thing about children is they'll show you things you never thought to see before, like colors you couldn't even imagine.
So you had 19 hours on yours, Spagg. So you have used, what's that, from 3 a.m. to noon? That's 9 hours. So you have about 10 hours left.
I got the rest of the session, baby.
You got the rest of the session under the effects of LSD. And Marv, by the time we get to everything, you'll be 9 hours. You have 5 hours left. So by dinner time, you should be just fine.
That's gonna be
83 on the D100.
Okay, 83. And Spagg, I'll have you roll me one as well.
It was a 79 for Spaghetti.
I like that we're like close, but not quite.
Okay. Yeah, there is nobody within 15 feet of you at this point, so nothing happens. So you're okay at this point. That would have been bad for everyone else at this point. Spagg, sorry, what was yours?
79.
It's so perfect. As your sun reaches the highest point in the noonday, at noon, directly above the church, as if like giving you, Papa, the salutations that you deserve, you see butterflies and flower petals start swirling in the air around you. They are colors of gold and blue and orange, and they are rich. And you are very, very certain this is a gift from your son. Absolutely, to you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens on the roof. It's a beautiful butterflies and flowers on the steeple of the church.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'll head inside, rosy with pride and my son's radiation across
You're a
my
bit
naked
sunburned.
body.
Yeah, you're
Completely.
a bit sunburned.
Yeah, 100%. It's bad.
So pale. Perfect. Yeah. So you all, I don't think. Why did you tell them where you were going before you left?
Probably not. I don't think I would have had the wherewithal to do so.
Right.
I think he just like literally stood up and was like, "If we're resting, I'm resting," and just like stumbled down the road.
Haz is downstairs. She has gathered up the bedrolls and made everything quite tickety-boo. She started like fixing things at the church, just to kind of like standing up some pews. And she looks at you. She goes, "All right, where are we headed? What are we doing today?"
We go talk to the sheriff.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk to the sheriff.
Have I arrived
Now,
at the church at this point? Like, yeah.
I will say, that you meandered your way after much protestation.
I've made porridge for everyone.
I can't wait. Morning, everyone. How are we all feeling?
I feel
Radiant.
excellent.
Jesus, Spagg,
So sunburned.
you look fried like an egg. What?
Oh, you noticed my ascot. Yeah.
Where are your clothes?
The ascot, man.
Right, yeah, no, that's fair. I think maybe more than an ascot if we're going to try to convince Pal to be sheriff again.
Well, it depends how you want to convince him.
Okay.
I was gonna let y'all do the talking because the last time, I don't always have the most elegant way with words.
You underestimate the power of body language.
No, absolutely. That's why I was gonna let y'all do the talking with your body or your mouth.
I'm just saying, you give me 4 minutes alone with that barrister who doesn't like us very much, he'll like us.
I'm
Like,
concerned. Like that has
I'm in
an
a mood
energy
to trust.
Yeah, that's okay.
You lead the way, sir.
All right, here we go.
Does Spagg put clothes on?
I'd love to get a pair of boots.
That's it.
How tall? How
You-
tall are these boots? They thigh high?
Well, this is an important question in terms of the circles we've been running in this town. I
Mhm.
feel like there's a pretty good chance that the easier boots to procure are not in fact cowboy boots, but some big ol' thigh-high heels.
It depends on who you go ask for these boots. If they are not your own, do you go over to the Ambrosia and ask for clothes? Do you go to the general store? Where are your clothes? What would you like?
Unclear where my clothes are.
Unimportant.
He's not even gonna roll for it. He's got a -3 in it disadvantage at the moment. As far as I can tell, they're lost. Oh God.
He lost them in his fugue state.
Yeah, that is canon.
The sun stole them.
Where would you like to go for clothes, Spagg?
Fucking Adam, you're the Ambrosia. Erik.
Wyatt has made his way over.
No.
He's just
Adam, I
signing
need you to
us.
roll a d20.
Yeah.
Erik, I need you to roll a d20. You're the general store. And Tim, could I get you to roll a d20? You are the wilderness.
Jesus Christ. I rolled an 11.
I also rolled an 11.
All right, well, let's re-roll that then.
I want you, Adam, I want you to say the highest number you can think of right now. Go.
9,341.
Erik, can you beat that?
No. Not in my state.
Then we're off to the Ambrosia.
I shot so low. I shot so low.
That was a
And we learned something important about Erik.
Can't think of high numbers. I don't know. Okay,
No
so
way.
you head over to the Ambrosia. And
Good morning, ladies.
The,
I'm looking for a pair of boots.
you see another bartender down. There's no, the girls are not. It's about, I would say, probably about 12:30 by the time you make your way over there. They don't really do a lunch crowd here, and usually service starts at about 3. So there's a bartender behind the bar, a blonde gentleman. Probably I would say we're looking like in his probably early 40s. Very handsome though. Everyone is very handsome here and pretty.
Yep,
and he's
all of us here are extremely handsome and pretty.
And he goes, "Can I help you,
Looking
sir?
for a pair of boots.
What kind of boots you looking for?"
What kind of boots?
And Sean
Is
froze.
this guy wearing boots right now?
He hasn't come up from behind the bar. He
What
is
kind of
like,
boots you wearing? Come out from behind that bar.
"You are not having my boots, sir."
Well, I think that that's negotiable, isn't it?
And no, they're not. These are my boots.
Do they have sentimental value? 'Cause I'll pay
Yeah, they're
extra.
my boots.
Fabled, thank you very much for the raid. You've come.
Oh.
I'll have you know
weird time.
Hello, Fablers. Welcome in, my dears.
that Mr.
Hello.
Gallwood happens to owe me goodies, and I'm willing to share
he
them
now?
with you. Those boots. I love a mystery. I haven't even seen them, and I need them.
Tim would like to lean over and just kind of pat him on the shoulder like, "You got this, my friend." And I would like to cast Bless.
As the bartender looks at you and he goes, "You know, I really want to help you."
Sorry, I meant guidance.
No, you said bless.
No, I meant guidance.
I've got it going for a minute.
I really want to help you. I do. I'm not going to give you my boots, but I can get you something that might be half as good, or I can get you something, some clothes maybe. You need a hot meal or something.
I need boots, son.
Y'all were here before. You know where Mason.
And if your boots
is.
aren't on the table, in fact, I can see that they're behind the bar. So, I feel we can. Sounds like your boots are no, which means the goodies likewise off the table, but I ain't leaving here without boots.
I think he was suggesting maybe going up to Mace's room, taking.
I think
Mace's not using them anymore.
Ooh, grave
Mace's...
robbing, kinky. Okay, I'll march upstairs.
I'm sorry.
To Mace's room.
I'm gonna go to the. What's the store that's a bunch of names?
Dufresne, Duchesne, and DuPont.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that store.
Yeah. And as so Wyatt leaves at this point. Spagg, you've gone upstairs,
blushing and so it's like, oh my god.
And he looks at you, Tam, and you know this to be Raymond.
Raymond.
And everyone calls him Ray. And he goes,
Raymond.
Dr. Clampton, is he all right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I believe he may be in his rightest mind. I think my colleague and friend, he may just feel the most himself in this moment.
I am very glad to hear it, and I'm glad that you have trust in his faculties. Will you make sure that he doesn't make a mess of the room while he's up there?
Absolutely. He's
okay.
He's generally very clean. In the time that I have known him.
That's not untrue, actually.
All right.
Clean fellow. Not one to make a mess.
Okay. All right. He is welcome to anything from Mace's. We were going to just take it all and either sell it or burn it. So
perhaps consider donating it to the church.
Yeah. All right, Reverend, of course. Yeah, you can take whatever you need for any parishioners or yourself or whatever. It's all good.
Not for me, just for those in need, if they need somewhere to come by and get some extra clothing.
Of course. Feel free to take whatever you want. There's a bed sheet up there. It's clean. You can put it all in the sheet and just bring the sheet back whenever.
Thank you, Raymond.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Dr. Clampton. It's real nice having you back.
It's nice to be back.
Everyone who works here was real worried about you, and I know they really trust your guidance and how non-judgmental you are with them about their work.
Of course.
These are good people here, so.
Oh, of course.
Very grateful for you.
Of course.
Do you want a drink or something?
No, it is a bit early for me to imbibe, but I appreciate the offer.
Yeah, all right.
I better go keep an eye on my friend.
Sounds good. And he looks to you, Marv. Did you need a drink?
No, thank you. I'm fine at the moment.
All right. Well, if y'all need anything, I'm gonna just be here cleaning the bar and getting set up for tonight. But just don't bother the people upstairs. They're in their process of getting ready, and it's quite the ordeal. Spagg, as you have walked upstairs, you see a flurry of activity. There are girls and gents and wonderful non-binary folk everywhere and in between, dipping in and out of people's rooms. There is like lipstick and makeup and clothing being passed throughout everything. It is like you are having to bob and weave to get your way over to Mace's room. It is a flurry. There is a lot going on in front of you. It's quite overwhelming as you head up through.
Spagg doesn't so much bob and weave as move like a tourist in Times Square, where there's just like a lot of people, and he just kind of waits his turn when a spot opens up and takes like 2 steps forward, and it's like, oh no, okay. This is a laborious process, but he's having a great time. He's among people. That's really exciting. And once he gets to Mace's room,
yes,
he would like to search it until he finds shoes.
Roll me an investigation check, please.
And I want to be clear,
as this is happening.
Not. Wait. He's going to search until he finds shoes.
Yes.
That means that no matter how low the roll is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is a matter of how long this takes.
Yeah, and what kind of shoes you find.
That's a 2 on the die.
You have guidance, my friend.
Proficiency
bless,
and
you are
guidance.
Blessed. No, you have guidance. I didn't bless you. Wouldn't help in this situation.
That'll be a 9.
Okay. Yeah, it takes you a bit. Tam, as you walk upstairs, there is you see this flurry as well. There is a lot of people undressed or in various states of dress here, as you kind of avert your eyes at all of the people walking by as you maneuver your way towards where Mace's room is. And Marv and Tam, Spagg searches for probably almost an hour trying to find a pair of shoes, and you watch as he looks for shoes in all the wrong places and keeps going back to those places where to see if shoes have magically appeared there.
Look there.
I like to imagine there's also just sometimes where he just stands in the middle of the room going,
Everywhere you look is just one new place a shoe isn't.
And you eventually come across you manage to, after fumbling with the lock a couple times, you manage to open a crate or like a chest in the closet next to in Mesa's room, and you find a pair of simple brown leather cowboy boots.
Perfect.
They're nothing flashy. They're well made though.
Excellent. I'll take the cowboy boots. I'll take a sash and just tie that around my waist for flavor.
I feel like you've tied it in. There's like a very like toga scenario that's happening here. It's kind of like no, okay.
I would like you to very Captain Marvel, sort of just like a red long scarf tied around the waist, that sort of trails off to the right, catching the breeze, and my ascot in my boots. And
wonderful.
I think at this point you're
you.
like 23. Wait, I'm gonna roll a. Well, it can't be a D100 in case I roll too high. 23% clothed.
23% clothed. That's
just none of the percentiles you want. All
Um,
right, let's go.
You're a bit more clothed than the last time you were here.
No, wait, I need to clarify. The sash, is that around his waist like a belt?
That's around my waist.
Right, so it's not covering anything. It's just a belt.
Covering my waist, dude.
The smallest.
If
part
anything
of
is
the
drawing more attention.
it's red.
It's called a framing device.
Did you walk in? I just need a clarification. Did you walk into the ambrosia like naked?
I'm
Essentially?
wearing
An ascot.
I don't know.
How many
How to
times you can
get-
tell me? Yes.
Yeah.
Were you wearing like undergarments in the slightest?
I'm wearing, and this is
An ascot.
a
An
comprehensive
ascot.
a comprehensive list of the things
I'm listening.
that
I'm
Spagg was
listening.
wearing.
Yeah.
Since he met his son.
Just like Adam
An
in the
ascot.
garden.
Yeah.
An ascot. Now
And
this
now,
sash
A
and
sash and two
Mace's
simple
leather.
boots.
That is
Right.
that is a good point, Tim. This is the second character to be in the ambrosia fully naked in the middle of the ambrosia, because Wyatt was in the ambrosia with just his gun belt during the big fight.
Right.
That is very true. You were on the roof of the ambrosia in
True.
This place
Brother?
just tends to make people have no clothing on. It's,
Yeah.
it's great.
I'm naked
Um,
from the waist up and down.
But
Not the waist.
Importantly, not the waist.
Nope.
Not the waist. Importantly, not
It's
the
the
waist.
equator.
I understand now. I understand. Okay, so you you leave the ambrosia, Spagg slightly more clothed than when you got
Mhm.
there. Hass, you wanted to go to Duchesne Dufresne and DuPont.
I would literally just pop in and buy
Okay.
a very simple 6-shooter that was just didn't have much of a kick, but like was shot straight, and I
Okay.
would just buy like a general 6-shooter.
As you go in, Rebecca DuPont is behind the desk. Hass comes with you. She yeah, I'll come with you too. So she comes in and you buy the gun very simply, and
Ma'am.
Rebecca leans over to ask you how'd it go.
Oh, it was fantastic. You should make more of these.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah. And you know,
Uh,
you said like there was a risk that it might didn't happen once, so I don't think it exists.
Well, I mean,
No, I'm fine.
you don't know that. So
Well, no,
please.
I feel like it's pretty stable because I shot just a whole bunch of dynamite directly below my feet, and then a house
that was
collapsed on
you.
me.
Okay.
And my gun's fine. If anything was going to set my gun off, just all of the dynamite in the town directly exploding beneath me. I feel like that
Yes.
would have been the thing. So,
I'm sorry that you got caught up in that.
well,
I
at this
kn-
point, I'm suspecting I might be immortal because I do not understand how I survived both the up and the down of all of that. So, It's,
Well, I am glad that you're here. And she looks over at Hass and she goes,
hurts to be
how did the shawl work out? And Hass, they exchange pleasantries. And you see that Rebecca's just like waiting. She's waiting to say something. She's listening to Hass intently. And she looks over to Hass. Hass, I have a favor to ask you. Just a second. She goes into the back of the shop and you see her kind of looking around, potentially looking for her business partners if they are. They don't seem to be around at the moment. She'd mentioned that they'd gone out of town but not come back early. So she comes back to the counter and she puts some paperwork on the counter and pushes it towards Hass. Forgive me for my forwardness, but I am in a bit of a bind. My business partners are going to bleed me dry if I don't do something about it. And, I'm going to try and buy them out. I'm going to try and do this legally. I'm giving them a good rate. They get residuals and a small amount of royalties over time so I can keep the name as a sign of good business. And also because this name goes a long way here in Clementine and then also with our traders and merchants from beyond this town, especially out west. I've tried before, but they laughed at me. I hold my own most of the time, but she looks between Wyatt and Hass. Frankly, a little help convincing them to sign wouldn't be untoward. I have pulled this business out of bankruptcy 3 times now, and I don't intend to let them drive it into the dust again. Hass, I'll make it worth your while. She puts another contract on the desk, and for brevity's sake, the contract offers Hass 10% stake in the company. Now, you'll legally be employed here under my employment, but other than the day they sign the deed over to me, you don't have to work a day if you don't want to. I just need some help. And you're a good person with good taste, noticing the shawl. So, what do you say? Will somebody roll a d20 for me, please?
11.
Haas looks up at Rebecca and you see a soft smile grace her face. She holds out her hand. Give me a pen. Absolutely. I'd love to help you. She signs her name. And she looks over at you, Wyatt. I'm gonna stay here for a bit, help Rebecca get things sorted and work, I guess.
Sounds like a good plan. And I will say, I don't have a mind for business, but ma'am, you make a fine gun. And if ever you want to, enter into a partnership, that's something I know about. Business side stuff, I don't know the first thing, but I know how to make a nice gun. And you know how to make a nice gun. I think together we could make, pretty spectacular guns. And I too, Hass, will be staying in town for at least a little bit.
She notices the blush on your cheek. Sounds good, Wyatt. I know we rolled into town together, but it'll be nice to stick around with you for a bit.
Couldn't agree more.
And Rebecca looks over at you, Wyatt. Well, tell you what, if this thing becomes mine, and everything is under my purview, let's talk about patronage and partnership.
Yeah. Quick question. Your
Yes.
Your partners, are they proud
Yes.
men?
Do you mean that? Is there any room to breathe other than their egos in the room, yeah.
No, I'm
They're a
asking,
very proud man.
if offended, how quick are they to draw irons?
They'd be more likely to bury you under a lawsuit than draw irons.
Oh, that is a shame.
Ain't it, though?
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to do this. Shakes the contract. Legal way.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just thinking, sometimes a bullet to the head is a quick solution to a lot of problems, but I've been told that's not allowed in this town, so.
They were my husband's friends. And
Right, so don't kill them. Okay. I'm learning. Listen, I'm learning. There's a lot to learn in this town where apparently Jesus lives because fucking thunder's coming down all the time.
Amen.
And yeah, and then, ooze monsters and stuff. This town, I've wandered pretty far in my time, and this town has just a little bit of everything.
It's a special place.
Special is a word I would say. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you need anything while you're here, Mr. Cassidy, you are welcome anytime.
I appreciate it.
All right, Hass. Let me show you the back. So Rebecca takes Hass, and they go off into the back to get started.
Hass, you good if we go talk to Pal?
Yeah. If you need some extra muscle, come back and grab me. But I think you got it.
I'm sure we'll be fine. Good luck.
Yeah,
to
all right.
You.
Yeah, all right. She stops for a moment. And she comes out from behind just before she goes to Rebecca. She gives you a hug.
Yeah,
really nice hug.
Give a hug back. Ah, shit, Hass, you are strong as hell. Fuck.
That's your fault for hugging me with broken wrists.
Yeah, no, I know. You hugged me first, but yeah, no, okay.
She gives you a wink and then she heads off in the back.
I'd walk out and wait out front for the others.
You see quite a spectacle leave the Ambrosia. And where are you wonderful lads off to next?
Oh, shall we go see Pal and see how he's feeling?
Yeah. And then we'll go collect our goodies, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so you head on over to the sheriff's office. Easy enough.
Then we go. After you. Gesturing to Spagg.
The fucking grand poobah rolling down the town.
Spagg, you walk in first. And you see...
Good morning, barrister. I say entering the door before I see who's in the room.
You see Bailiff Johnston from 2 nights before when you were here in the middle of the night to visit Pal. And you see him packing up Severin's desk. What can I do for you?
Did I come at a bad time?
Well, our sheriff has left, so I don't know if that constitutes as bad.
Has he sent word?
He left this. He came by in the middle of the night last night, and he left this.
God, we should have come by in the middle of the night.
It's addressed to you, Reverend.
Really?
Yeah.
Must be such a stressful time, and I start massaging his shoulders.
Damn it.
Tim is taking such pleasure in watching this happen. It's so funny.
He stands uncomfortably and he goes, "Sir, I am."
I think whether he's
Officer of the
uncomfortable
law.
or not should be a roll, if I may. Because
Oh yeah, that was a roll. I just rolled to see how
no. That's how he felt about it. But how does it feel? We don't know how good of a masseuse.
Oh.
Okay,
Look,
I will
I'm
have
saying
to.
he's sitting at a desk.
He could be
He
putty.
probably
in
has some
Spag's
lower
hands.
lumbar shit
Yeah,
that
okay.
probably can get it.
I'll acquiesce to that. I'll let you roll me
He's got a foot up there.
You can roll me a sleight of hand check.
He's done the thing where
Please.
he's put his back to the back and like looped his arms through and is bending forward, like cracking his back.
Yeah, sleight of hand, please.
All right, Adonis Fleshquake, bless me, baby. Oh hell yeah, that's a 19.
You so you start
I
massaging.
start high. I start in the casual area.
Barris,
Nice scalp
bailiff.
massage.
Bailiff.
Too high.
You start massaging Bailiff Johnston, who's quite a bit taller than you, and you're reaching up to try and massage, and he's the bailiff looks very uncomfortable for the moment and is like still has his hand extended towards Tam with the letter. And then he watches, he kind of he's trying to keep such a sense of propriety on his face, but you cannot, it belies how good the massage is. He is very clearly enjoying, he's like,
A lot of emotional tension is stored as physical tension. If you need to cry or laugh or, if any kind of feeling comes up, that's perfectly fine.
I am certain that there will be a lot of shoulder tension. My wife says that's where I carry most of it. So,
Well,
I am working.
I'd hate to disagree, but there's a little extra tension elsewhere. But I don't know. I mean, we could get her 2 cents on this as well.
You propositioning a man naked in his workplace for a threesome? You fucking sex goblin.
If the barrister gone so we can free Pal. Was that not the plan? Was that not the plan?
Let's read the letter before we get too far into plan.
What do we know about Tam? He gets the job done. We already did the first job. New job, free Pal. Tam's job in this job, get rid of the barrister.
Are you
Spagg's
Spagg's job?
Who's Tam?
I think the LSD is really kicking in. I think
it's called a contact high.
I've never seen bleed cause a drug-like effect.
Oh my lord.
This is the dangers of bleed, is if your character takes drugs, you take drugs.
I sent Sean some LSD. I didn't legally, but I legally
Say no,
did.
kids. Say no to role play.
I rubbed LSD on the insides of all of our mugs, so we're gonna have a weird week.
And on all the dice.
So as you say that, you see a deep blush start with Bailiff Johnston's and face, and he gently sidesteps your massage, and he goes, "While I appreciate the offer at an unconventional time, my wife and I are monogamous, sir."
So far.
Jesus Christ.
So
I'm just gonna go read this letter.
I'm sorry, Bailiff.
No,
reading it out loud.
It is my job to hold.
Just start reading
Tam,
it.
let's hear what's in this letter.
So in the letter, it is addressed to you, Tam, from Sheriff Severin. The sheriff starts with an apology and says that under no uncertain terms that he is leaving Clementine for good.
Mm.
The charges have been dropped against Pal, and he's free to go. In the note, it is a bit of a confession, if not trying to get things off of his conscience, is what it reads like. It reads like he is writing to you as his priest at this point. He talks about wanting to be a senator. He talks about how the Fosters, Joseph Foster, the previous owner of the mine, told him that this was the best way to get it done. That he greases a couple hands, he makes some things happen, and everything would work out like it was supposed to. He talks about taking the flak of abandoning the post. He apologizes for not being able to control the Duprees. It doesn't seem like he knew what they were, being eldritch beings, but he seemed to know they weren't good people. And he describes the steps that were taken to unseat Pal as sheriff in the town, that it started out west. It started when Pal attempted to stand up for workers who were being treated unfairly in steel mills. Talked about trying to help his wife's brother. And after there was a collapse in a steel plant, and many, many immigrant workers were killed. And it was swept under the rug by a company, and none of the families got any form of restitution or justice. Talks about how that if Pal was made to go away, that everything would work out for Severin, because Pal was nothing but trouble. So he agreed. He says at the end of his letter that Pal assisted him in settling the anarchy in the town when he first arrived, and thanks Pal for his service in it, asks you to thank Pal for his service. And Severin says that he is going to pass on to whomever he can that he believes that Clementine is best left in Pal's hands. And that on paper, Pal would be given the sheriffdom back. And Severin would oversee a probationary period of 1 year, which in reality is he'll leave town, write whatever you want in Pal's name about Pal, and then it would be officially Pal's after 1 year. Next to the letter, you see a set of keys. And Severin ends the letter with apologies and asks that even though he has no right to do so, he asks for you to pray for him so that he can
be in my prayers.
Sorry, Em, can you repeat that last moment just because I bumped my cord and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the audio went away.
No
My
problem.
apologies.
He said to that
Pray-
even though he didn't
pray for
have,
him.
that even though he shouldn't ask this of Dr. Clampton to
Yeah.
pray for him so that he may right his conscience
Right.
and better himself as a person. And it's signed Harold Severin.
Well, he will be in my prayers, but judgment will be passed by someone else, I suppose. Shall we set the old goat free?
Bailiff Johnson looks to you. Yeah, I think it would be good to get things back to normal here.
And I must say, I appreciate you doing your job. I know we're not always the easiest bunch to deal with.
I know you're just trying to do the right thing, Reverend.
Strongly held convictions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Apologies for the other day. Things got a little tense, and
But I'm glad our friend Spagg here is taking care of that tension.
yeah.
Yeah, tension will kill you, man. You and your wife.
So
That
Take
was,
the keys down.
that was vaguely threatening. I didn't like that.
That sound like a threat?
It did. It did. It really
Little
did.
bit.
Weird.
So you go.
No.
I mean, Spagg and Marv, I feel like it's been enough time. Can you roll me a D100, please?
Thank you, M, for this gift.
You're so welcome.
Thank you for in-game LSD.
You're so welcome.
What a joy.
28 to 28.
28. Are you carrying any magically attuned items to you?
I'm carrying an ascot, a sash, and two shoes.
What about your
Finally.
teeth? Are your teeth magical?
Are your teeth magical?
I guess they would be. He would have replaced his teeth, yeah.
But are they magic items that you attune to?
Absolutely not.
I mean, they're the only magic thing you're carrying, though. And you
That's
did lick a bunch of LSD off of Marv's face.
Also
This
fair.
is true.
Roll me a D100.
Okie doke.
Oh shit.
I mean,
so his teeth
For
gonna
the record,
explode?
right now, now that we're talking about it, this did occur to me a little while ago.
Yeah.
Spagg can't cast magic because he neither has his cloak, like his jacket that has all his things in it, or his gun.
No focus.
He's
No
got
magic.
no focus, quite literally.
Just-
That's going to be an 89.
Okay. Spagg, as you shoot a smile over to the bailiff, you feel 3 of your teeth crack. And not your special ones. Not your special teeth. You feel 3 of your regular teeth crack.
Huh.
Marv, what did you roll? You're muted, my dear. I can't hear you.
58.
Okay.
Your mic is incredibly good at like canceling sound once it's away from your mouth. That's impressive.
Roll me another D100, please.
Oh no.
35.
Oh my god. Roll me a D10.
Oh my god. We're going down a rabbit hole of
Oh,
dice.
jeez.
That is a 10.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay. Cool. We will
Sounds-
resolve that one in a bit, but
This
okay.
sounds fine. This sounds like a fine
Okay.
thing.
Totally,
to happen.
totally
Sorry.
normal.
Totally normal. I'm
Totally
so sorry.
normal.
Don't even worry about
Regular
it.
things
Don't
to
even
say.
think about
Regular
it.
things.
Can I replace my 10 on the D10 with a 14?
You don't want to.
No.
10 is a better number. Okay, cool. Great. That's what happens. And yeah, as you go into, you take the keys, you open up the back room, and you walk into the cells. Pal is still sitting there. As you open the door, you hear a very recognizable sound of Pal's lighter, and you smell his brand of cigars.
Well,
Well,
seems like your charge has been turned over to me.
has it now?
Yeah, so legally you have no choice but to do as I say.
Is that what the letter of the law states?
That is the very letter of the law I carry in my hand. I
Well,
hold
what
your
is-
fate.
What is your verdict then, Doc?
Well, you must go free.
Well, if you say so, and so it shall be, right?
You would unlock it.
You see as Pal stands up to his full height. He is a hulk of a man, just a brick shithouse. He's so tall and broad. His hands are just really, just big. He's just a big guy.
Beefy hands.
Super, yeah, very, very big. As he has to duck a bit to get out of the door of the cells, and he looks at it. I don't plan to ever be on the other side of those bars ever again.
Well, you could have got out a little earlier. We could have used your help, but it's so up your own butt.
Seems like
It's
you
fine.
did just fine.
I had a building fall on me. So did the Reverend. So
Yeah,
Coulda
I heard
gone
the
better.
explosion. I figured the good doctor here had something to do with it.
He has so little faith in me.
Nah, because you have so much faith in yourself. I don't need to.
Of course.
And he leads you out, and you watch as Pal, the second he comes into the sheriff's office, it is very clear that this is what he is supposed to do. Immediately, you see the suspenders that were slung low on his hips, pulls them over. You see him grab his hat. He goes over to the desk, pulls out, he rummages through it, and he goes, you hear him fucking muttering about how Severin put everything in the wrong spot. You see him pull his badge out from the desk, pins it on himself, dusts off the chair, and he looks over at the bailiff. You put coffee on? Yes, Sheriff, right away. And the bailiff goes and toodles off to put coffee on. He goes, well, all right then. We continue on. Y'all need help with anything? Can I do anything for you?
You got any bounties? Man's got to work.
Are you sticking in town? All of you.
For the meantime, yeah.
Becca,
If you said something, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Erik.
I owe Miss Rebecca a not insignificant debt.
Well, good. She would chase you down, and then I'd have to put a bounty on you. What about you, Red?
Well, I do need to find my gun. That could be local.
I suggest you find it before someone else does. Guns go
Oh
for a
my
pretty
God.
penny in this town.
Yeah. Well, I got my son looking for it. He kind of sees all. So,
That's good.
I mean, Spagg's here to do a job. Spagg goes where the work is. So if you've got a job, then I guess Spagg is staying around.
Well,
And he turns around on the spot when he says the word around.
says, well, I will have to see what's Severin left in his wake if there are any bounties open.
Do you have any personal grudges? I
doubt-
take payment in sentimental value.
Not that I can think of, no, sir.
You live a charmed life.
I do. Spent a couple days in a jail cell, but well, happens to the
Fuck
best
yeah.
of us, don't we?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And you, as he's talking to you,
It's
he
weird.
pulls pulls out 2 brass knuckles
Oh, fuck yeah.
that he slips on his hands.
Oh,
And
those are
hear
for
him,
you.
Hear him crack his hands in them, and I'll have you make a perception check.
At disadvantage. That's a 2 on the dice.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
a -1.
-1. Yeah, those are nice, some nice brass knuckles. For sure are. Yeah.
What are those? Metal?
Yeah, somewhat.
Tam would go and rap on his desk. I'll see you Sunday morning in the pews and Monday night at the card table.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Now get on.
Sherriff,
We have some goodies to retrieve.
He looks over at you, Wyatt. What can I do you for?
I have someone to talk to, and kind of depending on how that talk goes, I might need a favor, if that's okay.
Well, let me know how the conversation goes, and then let me know what you need. I'll do my best.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome, and be good while you're here in Clementine. This is a nice place.
I've been told, do not shoot people that you have a disagreement with, and I am learning.
No, and I'd have to hang you, and I don't want that.
That would be unpleasant.
Wouldn't it now?
I've been hanged before. Didn't keep, but wasn't fun.
That is going to have to be a story for another day. I have some work to attend to. And you see him pull out just like a mountain of like paperwork. It is as if he never left. He's been in this place for like 3 weeks, and he is picking it up as if he never left. He is seeing what has changed and falling right back into step. So what do you do now? Where do
I
you
think
go?
we go get our goodies from Galwood.
Yeah, let's get them goodies.
All right.
We are in agreement that we are getting paid in money, right?
There was money on the table.
Seems like y'all, like the way y'all talking about it, we're getting cookies or something. Like, we're getting money, right? We're getting paid for this.
There was money
Goodies-
on the table.
What is
yes.
good? What is goodies to you, Reverend and Spagg?
Well,
Though I hesitate to ask.
goodies come in all shapes and sizes, but preferably donation to the church.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Spagg?
The question
Mm-hmm.
is not what goodies mean to me. It's what do the goodies mean to Mr. Galwood? It's a question of value.
Right.
What does he think we deserve.
Are you gonna ask for his shoes?
A man needs only one pair of shoes.
Okay. What about-
Unless he sees ones that are nicer.
Okay, yep. Do you want pants for this meeting, or are you feeling good how you are?
No, I like business casual.
Okay, fair enough. Business sash.
Amazing. So you head over to the Cup and Pony. There is the lunch crowd is in. Some of the miners who are not working today don't seem to bat too much of an eyelash. You get a couple stares, Spagg, but you are
Only a
doing
couple.
only a couple. People are trying to be polite.
Disappointing.
As you see Crannies taking up his post at the bar, and he looks over at you. Oh, well, it is very nice to see you gentlemen this afternoon. The boss is expecting you. I won't need to go up and fetch him. He is weaker, but he is quite feeling like himself again. So
That's good
he
to
looks
hear.
forward to seeing you.
I'm glad to hear
So-
it. How you doing, Crannies? Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm right as rain. And he like knocks on his head a couple times. They're not getting rid of me just yet.
I'll put some money in the bar and be like, shot of whiskey on me. You know, you've earned it.
Oh, that's kind of you, my boy. Thank you. And he like takes the money with a speed you didn't think an old man could possess, and it's gone. And
It's all
he
a
is
ruse.
already pouring himself a whiskey
It's all a
and shooting
ruse.
it back as you head upstairs. So you go into Galwood's office, and you see Galwood sitting behind his desk, the big ornate desk, and Crannies was right. He looks a bit smaller. It does look like he has the last 24 hours has obviously physically and mentally weighed very heavily on him, but he is there, present, by his desk. He is signing some papers, and I was wondering when you would make it back. Welcome. I am happy to have you in. Please come in. Close the door behind you. You go in. I want to take the opportunity to say thank you for getting me out of that house yesterday. I wasn't quite sure what was going to become of me, but I am very grateful that you showed up and got me out of there. So you came back.
I don't want to be crass, but there was talk of
Your payment.
payment.
Say it.
Yeah. Now I was trying to think of a big word. Is it repudiation? I think is the word I was thinking of.
Remuneration is I think, what you're looking
Remuneration
for,
is
my
the
boy.
word I was
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah, right.
Repudiation, something else, I'm sure.
I also thank you so much, ADH Adventures, for the raid. Thank you so much for coming on in. Welcome to the Weirdest West, our series finale. Thank you so much.
The Tender West.
The tenderest, weirdest West. As he walks over to the cabinet where you're assuming he's going to pull out your money, he turns back at you, tapping on it. Seems like you already had a little bit of time in here while I was out.
Yeah, we did some investigating.
And what did you find?
What did we find? Because I don't remember.
We found a tube
Same.
with was it
Yes.
blueprints?
You did. You found a tube with like a schematic of the mine. You also found a bunch of information on Lunarium, as well as some information about how the Fosters had mined this giant hunk that turned out to be the Duprees, and it had changed a bunch of hands and been sold, and then mysteriously made its way back to Clementine. So Galwood looks at you and he goes, never quite figured out how to open that tube. So I am understanding, perhaps, of the fact that you rummaged around my office. I'm grateful.
Well, you were missing. We were looking for clues.
Of course. I'm, as I said, I'm grateful. I suppose I I wish I could have come on that myself. I feel like I should have done more. I was locked in a fucking cabinet for 24 hours.
And don't blame yourself.
And don't blame us either. Just, we all did our best.
No, I certainly don't. Your money. And as he goes over to the cabinet and he pulls out the amount of money agreed upon, it has been a while, and I forget how much money he sent you about, but it is there, all of it in full. And
I believe you said 400,000 gold pieces
I
each.
think I
I believe you
did,
said
yes.
400,000 real life dollars that you're going to wire to
yes.
each of us individually.
Absolutely, I did, with large bottles of LSD for all of you.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah,
That's exactly what I said. Yeah. So he puts those things down, and he puts some pieces of tender in front of you as well. So some of your he gives you a choice. Do you take your payment in gold, like dollars that you could spend, or do you take it in tender, like paper money that you would have to get exchanged later on?
take it in gold.
He gives you yours in gold.
I'd probably do half.
Okay. He gives you that. The rest of you? Can't hear you, Erik.
Yes.
There now.
There we go. Marv would take his in coin as he has a debt to pay immediately.
He does. Gives you coin and Spagg.
I feel like these days have changed me. It sounds like we're sticking around in town. So I think gold or tender. A man like me looking to set down roots, really like to purchase some land. And if there's one site that I think I could do us all a favor, take off your hands, why, that old mine. Seems like I could take it off your hands. You can keep all the gold yourself.
Fuck.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I will not be guiding this choice. No, sir.
Come on, meatball. 23.
Okay. Galwood looks and he considers this offer for a moment. When I bought that thing, that mine, the Fosters had already opened it up. We didn't know what they'd taken out of it. Didn't have much record of it. But seems like they dug too deep for their own good with whatever the fuck they stumbled onto. That hurt my town. Now, I can offer you all many things, but I don't know if I in good conscience can sell you that mine. I would. I'm a businessman, Spagg, and it's not going to make any money for me anymore. But I am not worried about what you'll do with it. But I'm worried about what it'll do with you.
Do you have a mine of equal or greater value?
Not one that I've started yet. But if you would...
Then Mr. Galwood, you've really got my hands tied. You promised me goodies, and where I come from, goodies means mines.
I believe I promised you payment.
He did.
Mr. Meatball, I never said the word goodies.
And
I don't
at no
believe that
point
was
did
in
he
my
say that he
vernacular.
would pay
I
you in
think
mines.
early this morning you said in the morning I'd give you goodies, and well, now it's noon, so I'll take those goodies with interest. I'm just joking. I'll take the dog and pony.
Well, that's good.
Oh, sorry, is that
this
asking
far.
too much? Is that asking too much? I'll take the mine. I'm just kidding. Tender's fine. Thank you.
I'm
counts you.
confused.
He counts you out the tender, and he looks at this. He's like, "Tell you what, you're looking to set up roots here. That I can do. I will set you up with a residence here, a house. And if you wish to investigate that mine, by all means. And if we come to it that there is nothing useful or dangerous in that mine, dangerous being the priority, then I'll let you buy it at a discounted price.
Okay.
He extends his hand to you.
I'll get my safest people on it.
He shakes your hand. But he pays you your tender, everything in tender for you.
This is the Tender West, baby.
The tenderest
Tender.
West.
We
Tender
always
West.
get paid in
Chicken
tender.
tender.
So he looks at you and he goes, so I've got my boys sweeping the town for any of that rock. Do you have any of it on you? I don't want anything like that happening again here, and I can't let any of that rock, that lunarium or whatever they call it, be kept loose with access to ground.
What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna lock it away.
Okay.
Do you have any of it on you?
I got none. I might have some in my body, just like base shrapnel, but you know.
Marv, I'll have you make a deception check because you do have some on you. If you're not choosing to say anything.
I am not choosing to say anything. I will leave my 14 portent die to cover me there.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna have him roll
Do I
insight.
need to add anything to it, or is that just flat?
Would be your, I would say, would be your deception.
I don't know that I have anything. I've only got a +1, so it's a 15 total.
Okay. He goes, well, all right then. If you come across it, and you see him smile a little bit. Come on, I got something to show you. He stands up. You see him moving a bit slower than he was the previous days, and he beckons you to follow him, and he walks over to a large painting, the big one that you saw as you entered the office that looks like a battle of some kind. And you watch him reach on one side and open it. And behind there is a very large door. You see him turn the locks. He stands in front of you so that you can't see. And you hear a door opens. He says, come on, come see. So he walks down. Do you follow him?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He starts to descend downward. Down, down, down. And he goes down about 3 flights. You are on the 2nd floor of the Cup and Pony, so you are underground.
He had this all built in a night.
Now, Reverend, I think maybe we might have missed something in our search.
As you walk down a hallway, you see what can only be described as a vault. Turns the crank. And inside, you see a large stockpile of new lunarium.
Oh.
I've had my boys collecting it from out of town, and down here is where it's going to sit.
Sir, there's some notes that got left behind about a process that I intend to study. My friend Hass, who will be collecting her tender when she has a moment.
Yes.
She has a hammer now that I believe to be singularly potent against these creatures. And it is made of this material, but
Interesting.
fixed somehow. And my thinking was, you know, there was some notes left behind about the process that made the hammer. And given time, I might be able to crack that. And I think if this town ever gets attacked by folk like that again, having a handful of bullets made of this stuff would be probably useful.
It seems a very sound logic to me, Mr. Cassidy. You are welcome to take what you need in small doses.
Of course, and anything that fails, I'll bring back.
Appreciate it. This would be good protection for the town in the future. I like your initiative. Good. Well, Is there anything? And as he begins to lead you back up, I'll have. What's everyone's passive perception?
Is 18.
15.
And yeah, mine's 20, but it would be a disadvantage. So I'm
Well,
down
I'll
to
say your passive holds here. You're acutely tuned into things. Dr. Clampton and Marv, it's not just Lunarium that is in this room. You see a couple bones in the back corner.
Just one more thing before we leave the vault.
Yes.
Who do those bones belong to?
He looks at you. Nobody good.
Well, that's not really what I asked, was it?
Yeah, that seemed like a half answer.
Mm-hmm.
When I bought the town, well, the mine, and the businesses along with it, about a week or two after I showed up. Also, thank you, Mad Birds, for the raid. Kaka, welcome in.
Kaka, we're being weird and tender.
One of the Fosters came back. I found him in my office with a gun to Cranny's head.
We old Cranny?
Yes. Who, thankfully, is faster than he looks.
I got that sense, yeah.
So, in the midst of the struggle, this Foster hit his head on my desk and died. I didn't have anywhere better to put the body at this point, and I still don't.
I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. What body? And I'm gonna start walking upstairs.
Suppose we all have skeletons in our closet.
Indeed.
Pretty literal, but yeah, okay.
As he starts walking up the stairs, after everyone else goes first, he closes the door and walks up behind. Is there anything else I can do for you? I should say also, for what you have done for me, should you ever require room and board, it is yours here at the Cup and Pony as long as you wish. On the house. As my guests.
I appreciate that.
taking you up on that for the time being. If that's all right.
Marv, after you all head out, would you hang back a moment? I have a question for you specifically. But is there anything else you gentlemen need from me?
Nope. I think I've taken up enough of your time.
Is there a property, maybe like a house that doesn't have occupants at the moment? There's a family that is short a house.
The Bainbridges.
Yeah, I blew it up.
I was there.
Oh yeah, you were there. Listen, a
was
building
very
fit.
much
Marv,
there.
Marv
Yeah.
laughs out loud. This is like the most expressive you've seen Marv probably since everything went down.
I
He
forgot
laughs
because I did in
heartily.
fact blow up a building underneath
Mhm,
myself.
mhm.
So and the Reverend, I feel bad about that. So I'm sorry, Reverend. I
There
hoped
is,
you'd get out. Really.
The Bainbridges have been put up in another one of the empty houses.
Glad
They're-
to hear that.
As much of their things have been salvaged, and we will replace anything. What you did was in service to the town. It will not come out of pocket for them.
I'm glad. What's the daughter? She's like 16, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Allison. She's about
Allison.
15.
15,
Yeah.
16, okay.
If there's nothing else, gentlemen, I have a fuck ton of paperwork.
No, of course.
Yeah, no, I
I'll
bet.
get out of here.
Got all your skeletons and paperwork? Absolutely.
I'll trust you not to mention the good brother Foster down in my...
Don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you so much. And if I have work for you in the future, Can I come calling?
For me, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Good. And so as you head on out, he's asked you to hang back. Marv, do you stay? Can't hear Erik.
Eric's having some audio issues.
Audio issues.
It's
the
just like it
LSD.
doesn't
It's the
want to.
LSD.
It's the LSD.
It's the LSD.
So Galwood sits down again and he looks at you. You know, I was quite taken with your candor in our first meeting, wanting to prioritize the workers in the mines and their well-being. And you'd never met them before or set foot in my mines or knew nothing about me. So I appreciate that a lot. And you can't always take a man on words these days. You take it on action. So your actions spoke louder than any words that you spoke in that moment. And I took a visit to Pal. This is a couple weeks ago when he was in prison.
All right.
And I'd been hearing about the issues they had on the coast with folks trying to form unions.
Mm-hmm.
And companies shutting them down, or just worse, firing the workers and using cheaper labor in worse conditions. People are going to be moving around this country looking for work. They're going to be coming from the coasts. They're going to be coming in from out of town. And I want Clementine and my mines to be an enticing and fair place to work. What I need, Marv, is someone to be a representative for those workers, both from this shore and those new to our country. Everyone deserves a chance at an honest living, and I have tried my best to do that here in Clementine. It doesn't matter where you're from or what color your skin is or what you're running from. Everyone deserves a chance at honest work. And I need someone who doesn't have issue holding his own, even-keeled, level-headed, good listener. And you seem like the right man for the job.
Marv takes off his hat, runs his hand through his hair. Well, I appreciate your confidence in my skills. I would be lying if I said I thought those things of myself. I've never really considered a life with one job in one place. So let me put it this way. I'm very interested in the proposal, but I think I'd like to consider for a moment, if I may. I do plan to stay in Clementine for some time. As I'm sure you heard me mention, I do have some debts that I need to repay that came in the course of this work. And kind of jingles his pocket. This coin will put a nice dent in that. But I don't know that it'll cover it entirely. And I do have obligations to that first.
Well, this position would be compensated well. Fairly paid.
I would expect no less.
And consider it an open standing offer. Even if it's a no, after you think about it. You seem the roaming type. And I don't want to, if you don't want to be tied down, I understand.
Well, I have a few things that I need to take care of before I settle one way or another. But I give you my word that regardless of my decision, I will inform you. I find it disrespectful to do otherwise.
You're a good man, Marv. Despite what you may think of yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Reason I asked was I need someone who understands what they went through in that mine. The sound in their heads. They don't need me to tell them how to feel things.
No.
They need someone who listens. Someone without all this shit. And he gestures to the paperwork, the bureaucracy.
I do have a disdain for paperwork.
You wouldn't have to do any of it.
Well, I am in the business of helping folks in different ways. This would just be a different application of some of my
Indeed.
skills, it would seem.
Indeed.
I will say that it is an interesting proposal, and I'm considering it favorably at the time. I hope you understand. I have a few questions for myself and a few things I need to wrap up before moving on. I did almost die, and near-death experiences, as I'm sure you're aware now.
Put a lot into perspective.
Indeed. Those are exactly the words I was thinking.
Good man. You take all the time you need. My office is an open door for you.
I'm sure I'll see you about. I am going to take you up on a place to sleep for a while.
Of course. I'll let grannies know. You're welcome to close the door on your way out.
Thank you. Nods his head, puts his hat back on, and turns to go, gently closing the door behind him. Tenderly.
Awesome. Tenderly closing the door behind you.
Tender touch.
Ooh.
So as you go downstairs, while Marv is upstairs, Crannies leans over the bar and looks at you, Spagg. Spagg,
Yeah.
Doc Faraday wandered in here about a couple hours ago, and the business with the boss was a bit more important, but he said he wanted to speak with you. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was chatting about you guys the other day, and he said he had something to talk to you about.
All good things, I'm sure.
Of course.
Of course. Crannies, come on. There's no secrets between us. Yeah, Doc Faraday. Okay. Y'all want to see the doctors is just a me thing.
I didn't say one way or the other, but it seemed important.
Sounds important. Gonna need some
The-
important people with me.
The mood of a man in nothing but boots, a sash, and an ascot leaning on a bar and saying there are no secrets between us. It is so upsetting.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. That's just
That's who Spagg is these days, and I love that for
yeah,
him.
man.
That's how the meatball rolls.
That's how the meatball rolls.
I don't think I like that.
I
I don't think I
now.
like that you said that.
Too late now.
Like it.
It's in the world.
So the Doc Faraday over at his surgery has sent for you.
On the way, I would like to point out to everyone that I got paid, and I was not a part of that original negotiation to be paid. So I think I really came out on top.
I think so. You're not right.
I think that's one of those donations to the churches.
Absolutely.
Daddy.
Before-
I'm saying
before
that
we
right.
go-
It's been a minute.
Please don't call me daddy.
Sorry.
Spagg, there are many lines I will allow you to cross, but that is not one of them.
Jesus, Papa. Sorry. I'm new
Sure,
to
but
this.
Never call me daddy again.
Dear God.
Uh,
So yeah,
Spagg, if you don't mind, I know you want company on this trip, but I got some business to attend to, so I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, attend your business. We've all got business.
Good luck with the doctor.
Thank you.
I wish you had pants on. The way he walks down the street.
Hey, if wishes were
Wyatt-
horses, we'd all be eating steak, brother.
No!
Wyatt, where are you headed?
To the Bain Bridges. Finding the Bain Bridges.
Okay, sounds good. We'll deal with Spagg first.
Yes,
For the
please.
sake of
Marv's off
brevity,
to his room.
Mar-
for the
Marv's going
moment
to take a
go
sleep.
fetch a few things.
I'll join you,
His bag.
Spagg.
Oh, good.
So Spagg and the good Reverend head on over
Just
to
3
Doctor.
doctors.
Yeah, a real academic conversation. This one's gonna be.
That's the next mini campaign. Three
yes,
doctors.
3 doctors.
doctors.
So you walk over to where Doc Faraday's surgery is. It's a small one. You haven't been here yet. It's a small one.
Okay. I
Oh.
thought I had forgotten.
No,
No,
you haven't
no.
been here at all.
He's been mentioned so many times.
You could have gone at any time, but you didn't. But now you
know.
are.
We
I'm
never
forcing you to go
did.
somewhere.
To a medical doctor, please. I have a PhD, allegedly.
You go. It's this one floor building of dark wood, and you go inside, and you see behind the countertop in a room that looks like everything in it could be hosed down. There.
Not sanitary. I'm not a medical doctor, but even I know.
You see a short, thin man, well into his 60s, with well coiffed white hair, very clearly using some form of pomade. He has large glasses and the brightest set of white teeth you have ever seen. They are straight. They are perfect teeth. They are absolutely fake. They are
Dr. Faraday, I presume your reputation eludes me. And I go to shake his hand.
Professor Meeball, it is an honor, sir, an honor.
I would
and he
imagine,
takes his
yeah.
hand over and he shakes your hand with a fervor. And he is wearing a black suit with a leather apron over top. And you see as he comes out from what he's doing, there is like a pig just on the table in the back. He is wearing rubber gloves like up to here, and he's caught his blood all over the floor. There's blood on his hands, and he takes off the gloves and he washes himself up and he goes, it is
I
so nice to
appreciate you
meet
washing
you.
yourself up after we shook hands.
No, it was before
That's
you shook
dedication.
hands.
Nope.
It was before you shook hands.
Yeah, one's laid, one's played, Emma. I don't know.
And he goes,
I love that you said that in Spagg's voice.
Yeah, once laid,
you
once
fully
played.
embodied the character.
And he looks at me and says, I just been really wanting to present myself to you academic to academic. And
Okay.
I'm a doctor around these parts, but most of the time I just end up being a mortician and a funeral director and a veterinarian, much to my own chagrin.
Funeral director. That's funny because it's kind of a like a conflict of interest, because I imagine funeral director, in fact I know, pays a little better than doctoring. So you do not so good at the doctoring and the funeral directing goes up, doesn't it?
Well, we make money where we can in this town, don't we? And it's like it's at that.
Not a denial.
He notices
good.
Gross
notices-
That's
malpractice.
why I prefer to do most of my own healing.
and he looks
Yeah,
at you
prayer
and he goes,
works.
very good to see you, Dr. Clampton. It is an honor to have you here as always. Your sermons just ring in my heart. They do.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
It is good to see you back in town.
Yes, it's good to see you as well.
Now, I have a proposition for you,
Oh,
Mr.
dear.
Meeball.
Well,
I have
you'd
heard
be
about
the first
you.
to proposition me today.
Well, then I am in good company, am I not? So here in town, I do my best with the medical knowledge that I have available. And Mrs. Capshaw and her trade and a few of the aunties in town tend to most of the lighter stuff. So that just leaves me up to my elbows in blood or shit or both. And not exactly what I had in mind when I went to medical school, but here we are. Perhaps that's my own disillusionment over anything else.
I've always found the best medical school is the school of hard knocks. Myself.
He laughs. He kind of chortles.
Ooh, you
with
weren't supposed
you.
to agree with that. That was a test, Doc.
And he kind of comes around and you see him walk to like a side door that has a lock on it. And he goes, now I got into medicine because I knew it would make my mama happy and get my daddy off my back about going to military. But it has afforded me certain freedoms and knowledge that I feel we are akin with. But there are also certain restrictions that make it hard for me to take the opportunities that I want because I am a doctor.
Yeah, I don't like the nature of this conversation.
Well, I didn't think you were coming, Reverend, but here we are. So
Yes, well, perhaps I regret
Anything
this
you
as
can
well.
say in front of me, you can say behind a closed door with the Reverend on the other side of it.
indeed. Now, Reverend, I am. Well, I would have something to worry about if I were a fraud, but no, sir. Not me. Not Gideon Ambrose Faraday. Not indeed.
Dear.
So he looks to you, Spagg, with a smile as he unlocks the door. And he goes, I have heard that you are somewhat of a connoisseur of tonics and elixirs and concoctions.
Still actively high on LSD and naked. I feel like I want to put an overlay on where it's like reminder Spagg is naked.
And in his
This
late
is why
60s.
I didn't come to visit you sooner.
It's more liver spots than man at this point.
Crannies has in my talking to him, he said you got a smart mind and a silver tongue that could sell socks to a snake. So I think you are the right man that I will be talking to.
Yeah,
Right
let's
now.
get down to Brest, Texas. Let's open the door. Let's see
Right.
what you got.
Now, Reverend, I hope you don't mind if I ask you to wait here. I can't share all my secrets now. I can't.
No, I may wait outside. The
All
amount
right.
of blood is upsetting, and your presence offends me.
This guy gives me real. I got my law degree from Columbia, and now I have to get it from America. Like vibes.
I got my degree from
Yeah.
DeVry University.
Dr. Tam Clampton would
Remove
turn on a
himself?
heel and head right out.
So seeing the Reverend, and he goes, now come with me. So he opens the door and he takes you into a small bit like a pantry. And on it you see rows and rows of bottles, pouches, and vials, all full of various different things. Some are labeled, some are not. And he looks at you and goes, I make them, you sell them. After the supplies are paid, we split the profit 50-50. What do you say?
I've gotten. You wouldn't say that any of these solves are dangerous, would you?
I hope not.
Me too. Because I understand that in my experience, such experimental tinctures can upset certain men of the law. But I've also observed that the law covers the surface. And I am currently in the process of procuring a mine where I think, devoid of any mineral substances, but a perfect place to develop and perfect our shared understanding of tinctures, far from the prying eyes of any lawmaker or God himself.
He starts just like, this is why I knew I had to talk to you. Crannies was the right man for this.
Subterranean meth lab.
I am
This
very
is Jesse
excited
and
about
Walter
this.
White.
Fucking
I am
a turn of the century subterranean meth lab.
I am very excited about this proposition, Professor.
Great, let's drink to it. Close your eyes, and I spin him around 3 times.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, just whatever one he reaches for.
Okay. All right. And he pulls 2
Great.
off the shelf and offers you one.
They better be doing it like this.
100%. And
That we link hands
and you take it bottoms
and we
up.
drink to our success. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh baby. That's a 5. Plus
One of those auto crits from Adam.
Yeah, you need my autocrit dice.
that's an 8. And dear old Spagg is feeling a little shy about chomping down on his teeth because
Mhm.
he's actively losing them, so I'm not gonna use my talisman.
Yes. Amazing. So as you take this tonic, it is chalky, to say the best. That is the best descriptor I have for the consistency.
Yuck.
And as you finish
It's like
it down,
you removed all the taste and texture of a bad apple and just left the meal.
and you feel a discomfort in your stomach, and you burp very loudly, and pink bubbles come out of your mouth. And they float up in the air in front of you.
Did you just
Are they
drink
hard
soap?
or pokeable?
Do you touch them?
Yeah, I'll touch them
Yeah,
with my hand.
they give a little bit and then they...
We need to strengthen the mixture. Those should harden once they reach the air.
That is exactly what I was saying. That is exactly what I was thinking too.
Great. You stay here, work on that. I'll procure some miners. I've got some tender that I can pay them with. This is all coming together. I'll take one of these for the road.
They're gonna be dead within months.
I like that the question of miners. I have to actually ask myself: does he mean people that do mining or miners as in children? It's like it could go either way.
With
Language
Spagg,
is a
who
fluid
knows?
thing. And yeah, I'll go catch up with Clampton.
Okay. He
the
stays
Reverend
standing
Clamp.
outside.
That was some chapel he had in there. You missed it.
I think I'm all right.
You are all right.
He is a strange little man.
You're a strange big man.
Yes.
You're a big
All
man.
right.
Big heart. What I like about you, you got a big heart, Mr. Clampton.
You took one of his tonics, didn't you?
I took a few.
Yeah, all right. Take my hand.
Okay, and we walk hand in hand
skip down
into our
Oh my
shared
God.
future.
What is there anything else that you would like to do before we close on Clementine?
I was gonna go talk to
Allison?
Bainbridge. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Allison
Okay.
Bainbridge.
You head on over to the town rows, and you ask a couple people who are moving about. The Bainbridge residence is completely out and it is not smoldering anymore. And they point you in the direction of a previously empty house, and you can head on over that way if you choose.
Yeah, I'll head over. Knock.
Opening the door, you see Jillian, Allison's mother.
Ma'am.
Mr. Cassidy,
Wow,
what can I do for you?
You mind
Why?
if I speak to your daughter for a moment?
Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. I just wanted a word.
All right. Of course. Please come in. Come in. So she lets you inside and she makes you a cup of coffee. And she looks at you and kind of seeing the gravitas with where you're carrying yourself. She goes, Allison, I'll be just on the porch. I have to deal with the laundry and find out where your brother has gone. I'll be just outside if you need anything, okay?
Thank you,
goes,
ma'am.
Yes, Mama. I'll clean up in here afterwards. She goes, good girl. And she heads on outside.
I would ask how you're doing, but I can guess it's probably not great.
Well, we're managing.
Yeah,
My dad's alive, so
I'm glad for that.
can you thank Dr. Clampton? I'm sure you'll see him before I do again for church on Sunday.
You're 15, 16. How old are you?
I'll be 16 in 2 months, sir.
Right. I was a couple years younger than you. I can't say my experience is anything like yours. I don't think anyone's had an experience quite like yours, but I was a few years younger. My father was a, good enough man for me and my mom. But in his younger years, he ran with a rougher crowd, did things that, probably wasn't proud of, and left some folks with sour taste in their mouths. Thought he'd left that all behind. But when you live a life like that, it catches up to you eventually. One evening, some folks came knocking. They shot my mother pretty quick, right off the top. No real discussion. Took out my dad. And they laughed as they killed him. Something to do with stolen gold or something. And then they strung me up in a tree and rode off, leaving me for dead as my dad bled out. That was the last thing he was supposed to see. But by some miracle, a branch snapped, and I found myself at a second chance at life.
Uh-huh.
And in that moment, my power was stripped from me. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I couldn't do anything for my dad. He was too far gone at that point. But he told me where he kept some supplies. His gun belt, some tinkering tools. And so, over the few years after that, I taught myself how to live kind of a certain lifestyle. It wasn't a good lifestyle, but one by one, I hunted down those men that strung me up. And it so happened that some of those men were on posters. So I made some money. And I'm done with that. I managed to finish that chapter of my life. But what you went through, I remember sitting on the other side of the table with a gun to my head, being used as leverage, and it's not a good feeling. And your life is your own, and your choices are your own. But I wanted to come and make you an offer that and I'm going to take out the 6-shooter that I bought. Let me put it on the table. If you want to learn how to make sure you're never in a situation where you're leverage, I'd be happy to oblige. I'm kind of looking down 2 paths at the moment. I can continue taking posters and rambling. Or, if you're willing to join me, there seems to be a vacancy as far as deputies go. Obviously, you would be a deputy in training for the time being, if that is something that you wish to pursue. But I think Pal is sheriff once more, so...
Oh, he is?
He is, and I think he would be welcome if I asked a favor. So I thought I'd come by and see if you had any desire to learn how to not only protect yourself, but protect those that you love.
She picks up the gun. She looks at it, holding it in her hands, turning it around. You see her kind of hold it out away from you. With a moment, she sets it down on the table in front of you, kind of still holding it. Mr. Cassidy, I may not know much about the world, but I know that as a woman, it is often expected or enforced that I have less power than anyone else in the room. So, this world teaches you something I'm learning about where to take power when you can. Who do you think convinced my dad to buy all that dynamite?
I had a thought. You're made of a rare metal, young lady.
I was hoping my dad would just leave, because I knew they were going to come back. And if that's the way it had to go, then so be it. At least they would just be gone. he wouldn't leave. So stubborn. But I want to carry my own in the world. I want to make my mama and my dad proud. And if things like that ever come back to Clementine, I want to be here and make sure that I send him right back into the fucking ground. So yeah, I'll take it. Whatever you got, whatever you're willing to teach me. I'm pretty handy with a knife. My dad has taken me hunting a lot, and I can skin a rabbit in like under a minute.
Well, I've been described as pretty good with a gun, so I'm happy to pass what I know along.
Okay.
Hell,
All right.
you know, the thing with being a quick draw is one day, regardless of who you are, you're going to meet someone who's just quicker. I might have lucked out in my path that that person ain't drawing on me. And I give her a wink. Also, if you mentioned something about, power and the expectation. There's someone I think you should talk to who I think you'll get on well with. You ever speak with Tulip?
At the Ambrosia?
Yeah.
No, sir.
She has some thoughts on the matter, and I think you two would get on.
Okay.
Do you want to come with me to the sheriff's office real quick? We can get this
now?
properly done. Yeah, if you're willing.
Okay. Can I show you something first?
Please.
Okay. My parents aren't in the house, and don't tell them, okay? Okay. So she walks over to the kitchen.
Wyatt says with moderate concern.
And you see as she pulls a sharp, like small paring knife out of the drawer. And she looks at it for a second. And she looks up at you. And she throws it at the wall. And it right into the wall. And if you look over to where it is, there is a small patch of knife indentations in one spot.
A good cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. I think you're gonna do well.
Cool. Okay. Let me just go talk to my mom, and I'll grab I should put on a nicer dress. Give me a second. So she like runs off, and like a couple minutes later comes out. You see she's wearing like a like functional dress, but you see she's got pants on underneath with like boots. She's pulled her hair back. She looks very put together, very like presentable for like a 16-year-old in this town. And she comes back and she takes the small paring knife out of the wall, and you see her tuck it in her boot. It's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's got good balance.
Yeah, it's good for skinning too.
Come on, let's go see Pal.
Okay. So as of this point, we have tied up a lot of loose ends here in Clementine. So before I narrate us out for the evening, I would love for all of you to take a moment and to tell me what the next couple months of your life look like. Whether you choose to stay here in Clementine, do you move on? What happens to you? People around you? Tell me, take some time with that, and then we will close our chapter here in Clementine. Whoever wants to go first.
So this evening, as we're kind of talking through, in that space where Marv is coming down out of his high,
Yes.
but not quite sober yet. So that chunk of time, however long that may be in that period of weird lucidity, Marv will wander over to the Bainbridge house that has been destroyed.
Okay.
And he reaches into some pockets in the folds of his poncho. He takes out a lump of lunarium in his left hand, and he's fiddling with it very nervously for somebody who's very steady. He's kind of rubbing it between his thumb and his palm, almost like a worry stone. And he digs around, and he pulls out a bar magnet from another pocket. And kind of takes a deep breath and walks towards the house with this. And he wanders off to the side where the cabinet would have been,
Mm-hmm.
where Mr. Gallwood was, and where there was something behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of shakes his head and stops for a second, then proceeds. And he sharpens his mind to the extent that he can.
Okay.
And as he approaches that side of the house, he leans down and starts looking through the tracks and the blown dust and all that kind of stuff. And he starts kind of poking at the ground with his bar magnet, looking for the iron filings that he threw at whatever was behind there.
Okay.
And he'll spend some time doing that.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's successful or not.
Roll me a survival check.
Let's see, what's my plus on survival?
This one's not a disadvantage. It's just perception and insight.
That is a 14.
Okay. So you follow the iron filings for a bit, your magnet hovering over the dirt, and then picking up the iron. You spend a couple moments, probably dig around for about 45 minutes, until it leads you to a shrub, probably about 50 feet, just off into the dust, just off outside of the civilized road and created area that is within Clementine city limits. You're just in the dust wastes at this point. Small brush and dirt and rock and shale around. You come across a brush and you see something bright orange under the brush. And as you get closer, you see this, it almost looks like a deflated sack. Looks to have been about this big, but it's punctured, and any fluid that was inside it has leaked out. A bright orange meaty substance with clear fluid inside. And it lies punctured there, unmoving and cold.
Yuck.
It does strike you as a similar color to what you saw on Gallwood, though.
Okay.
Very much.
Marv would pick that up and stow it in a pouch or wrap it in a piece of leather patching that he would have for his
I'd say you'd
pants or
have probably like a
something like
parchment
that.
or something, yeah.
Gauze,
Yeah.
what have you. He's just going to kind of wrap it up and put that in his pocket. And he would stay there for a while, kind of pondering it before this, and then heading back to town. And over the next couple of months, Marv would probably study that, knowing what he knows from hunting and things, taking what knowledge he can and trying to apply it to this strangeness as he struggles his way through his experiences. And over those few months, he would wander further and further afield, trying in vain, I would imagine, to continue looking for these things. All the while, using his worry stone becomes part of kind of what he is. This doesn't leave him. And I imagine he would spend a fair number of hours speaking with Clampton, just about this strange place he finds himself in, a path that was chosen that cannot, or that was put before him that cannot be tracked, that cannot be finished to his mind, and it leaves him somewhat unsettled. And so the next few months would be him trying to untangle that as he goes about what regular work he can. He would take Galwood up on that offer
Awesome.
as almost initially as an excuse to stay in town longer to work through this. And that's where Marv would be left.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else?
Dr. Clampton would just return to doing the good Lord's work. Just fall right back into routine and tending to the church, which is, in need of some repair, and also helping out around the town in rebuilding and facilitating that and looking out for people. Just right back. He kind of falls right back into step with what he was doing before.
Parishioners come back in droves after hearing about what you did for the city. If your Sunday services were bustling before, they are bursting now.
Yeah.
People sit outside the windows of the church if they can't find a seat inside.
Yeah. It's very, very focused on, the celebration and the community and the resilience of the people here.
Pal takes you up on those Monday night card games. And over one of the card games, he talks to you about starting like a city services group, trying to employ some of the people who often get down on their luck or can't handle other jobs. Be a roving thing to help get people back on their feet and clean up the place, handiwork, helping out with odd jobs around. And that becomes a special project between the two of you.
Yeah.
As idle hands are the devil's plaything.
And everyone else would be invited to the card game. And he would relish those discussions with Marv, and the kind of deep philosophical questions that remind him of his time learning and getting his PhD in philosophy, theology.
I love it. Awesome. Also, thank you so much for the raid, the Rolling 20s. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome on in.
Sean, would you like to go or should I? Oh, you're muted. You want to go?
Oh,
last?
am I muted? No, I was
No,
just
you were
quiet.
just too.
I was just too tender. Please, Adam, I'd love for you to go.
Okay. So I think Wyatt would spend about a month keeping pretty busy, working with Rebecca on making guns, training Allison, working as a deputy, but he'd also take any like big contracts. So he'd ride out of town for like a week at a time.
Yes.
And then
there would be a couple that would roll through. There would probably be definitely some horse thieves. That would probably be like higher profile horse thieves. There would probably be some bounties for arsonists, and also probably be some folks just looking to find people, like high profile people looking to find people. And Pal, with his connections to the coast, would put you in touch with the right people and help you the best you can as his deputy. And you've taken quite a shine to the big man. He doesn't say a lot, but he is a good man. He's dry, very sarcastic, quite funny. Likes to tease you, but he gladly accepts the offer to help train Allison, and talks about how his wife, Maribel, would have been proud to see a woman take up position in Clementine.
And then about a month into his stay in Clementine, he would tell a small white lie to Tulip, and let her know that he was going on a pretty large job and would be maybe gone for longer than usual. And he would go to the big city in the hope of getting two things, one of which he thinks will be easy, one of which will be maybe a little more difficult. His hope is to get a ring and a blessing.
Oh shit.
And
are you looking from like a blessing from her father?
He would try and find Winchester himself, and
you would have to have written, probably.
I think in the week leading up, he would have sent a letter out surreptitiously.
Because probably the closest place to you would be San Francisco-esque.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the closest major city, and the Winchesters are like starkly like New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would go on a train. Like he would legitimately.
So
like,
would you go to
gone
New
for a
York?
while? Yeah,
on a train.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would write ahead to the wind. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Like he's like, I'm going on a job. It's going to take longer than usual, and then he would just leave for a while.
Okay.
Big moves.
Big moves. So you go to. Have you ever been to New York before? Like New York-esque?
No, I think when we talked about Wyatt's like kind of life, he's always been in the
rural areas.
Always just kind of been. Okay. His whole life has been bounty hunting. Like he was on a small farm with his parents, and then that got taken away, and so he spent the rest of his life in the West.
On the road.
Yeah.
Okay. The city is overwhelming. There are people everywhere at all times. No land. It is all, buildings, and it's dirty. It is so dirty. And like the desert and the Dust Bowl is dirty, but this is a different kind of dirty. You walk through, and
you would seem like such a country hick too.
Yeah,
you'd be like full gun belt, like hat.
A handsome country hick, but
real.
From the country nonetheless. I would say you. So you
Tam's
find
gonna eat you alive.
we got real gangs in New York vibes
I
out
think
here.
Importantly, he's learned his lesson that you can't just draw irons on anyone, and that that lesson has helped him in New York to not just shoot down the first person he had an argument with.
Yes, I 100% agreed, Tim. Absolutely. So you find a pretty upstanding jewelry store in a nice borough of the city, and you go inside.
And with the money that he saved up from the big bounties and the payment from Gorewood, minus the cost of a house that he has secretly bought, he would buy the nicest ring he could find.
You buy like a beautiful. Are you looking for a diamond, or are you looking for something different? Tell me what kind of ring you buy.
What color is a tulip again? It's yellow, right?
It's yellow.
Yeah.
There's all different colors of tulips, but when you first saw Tulip, she was wearing a yellow dress.
He'd buy a yellow diamond.
Okay. Amazing. I'm dying inside. This is great. So you buy this like beautiful kind of like opal cut, cut, and it's with a larger diamond with smaller.
I think the smaller stones he would try to get to be topaz.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. Kind of like a darker, kind of like brown, mixed with some like citrine in there for that like real bright yellow, with beautiful yellow gold setting. You see this ring, and you know that that's the one. The price tag is hefty. But
this is highway robbery.
Yes, thankfully you do have enough to buy it. And you, with ring in hand, how do you?
Importantly, he would buy the ring first.
Yes, you buy the ring first. I anticipate
regardless of the blessing.
Yes. And how do you find Mr. Winchester? Like, so you've written to the company.
Skills that help him track down horse thieves and stuff. He would just basically just ask people and slowly find his way and just find the manor or whatever, wherever he lives.
So you first actually go to their city office, the main business office of the Winchester Gun Company, and you speak to his secretary. And you are told that Mr. Winchester received your letter, and to come back to meet him at the manor at a specific time in 2 days' time. So you mill about the city, and you come upon this beautiful house, sprawling estates. You have to travel a bit out of country. You've got to hire a carriage to get you out of the city to get to the Winchester estate. It is sprawling and beautiful. It is like a 10-minute carriage ride from the front gate to get to the house.
Wyatt is so uncomfortable. Like, Wyatt's just like, this is so weird.
And you go up to the house and you see a woman standing on the front porch. She is the spitting image of Tulip, but older. She looks like she's probably in about her early 50s.
I would take
Her
my
hair
hat off.
pulled back and up.
Man.
And she regards you very strongly. Are you Mr. Cassidy?
I am indeed.
How is she?
She's well. Fierce.
Does she know you're here?
As far as I know, I don't think so. Though with her, it's hard to tell. She's it's hard to have anything escape her notice.
It's probably smart on your part. I've not told her. All I ever wanted for Shoshana was some form of happiness. And if it is with you, then that is enough for me. Just try and get her to visit maybe once in a while.
I will try, but no promises.
That is enough.
But I will try.
She extends her hand out.
I shake it.
Marion,
it is a pleasure to meet you. I must admit I am being greeted more warmly than I expected.
Oh, it's not me you have to convince.
You know, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad I got at least half the team on side.
Well, he's a big man. Big personality. That Spitfire you see in her, all him. He likes to be called Sir. I'd start there.
That was my intention, but thank you for the advice. It's kindly, and I appreciate it.
And at the end of the day, all he wants is the safety of his baby girl. That's what we all want.
Put your mind at ease. If I were there or not, wouldn't make a difference. Your girl, she's a force.
I know I've done a few things right in my life. That is one of them. Come. Take a deep breath. It's okay. Let's go. And she looks at the gun on your hip. Is that loaded?
Doesn't have to be.
Oh, keep it.
Okay.
Keep it loaded. Mm-hmm. You walk through. She leads you through this beautiful estate. You meander through some lower halls, and you hear the unmistakable sounds of gunfire coming from the back. And you walk outside, and you see...
Oh, outside.
Tall...
He's not like shooting in his own house. You know, third act, fucking there will be blood.
There will be
absolutely.
blood. You see there's rifles and patents. The first Winchester gun is mounted over their mantelpiece. Like it's beautiful. The house is beautiful. It's very, very stately. Lots of really rich woods. Everything it's so fucking expensive. You've never seen it. Like you thought the ambrosia was lavish. This is a lot for you. So you go outside and you see a very tall man, broad, You see he's got quite a thick mustache, curly brown hair. He's a bigger man, very barrel chested. And he would probably stand about 6'5". And he is shooting clay pots. And you hear him just say, "Drop." And he fires. Oh, he doesn't miss. And you just see the remnants of probably about 50 clay pots on the patio, off on the lawn, with people just running to pick stuff up and clear stuff. And you see someone probably off in the distance pulling pots. And he hears you and he looks around. Cassidy?
Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for making the time.
That was at Marion's insistence, so you can thank her for that. Drop. And he fires again. Smash the pot.
Out of interest, how many of those can go at once?
He looks at you, and you see the same twinkle in his eye that you see in his daughter's eye every time she pulls out her own gun. He goes, "All right." He yells over to a servant, a house worker, to set up another one.
5 should be fine.
All right. On your call. And he lines up.
Draw.
All right. You can roll me a d20, please, as an attack roll.
Would I be able to, because I have 2 guns, I would want to quick draw both and action surge so that I shoot 5 at once, essentially. It's basically his quick draw trick of just
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. And this is an
Get
attack
it.
roll?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm not going to sharpshoot at this because I don't need to do extra damage. That's a natural 20 for the second one.
Nice.
25, 17,
Okay.
and 19. 17 is the lowest of the 5.
Okay. 17 was what you needed. So it's you just hear smash, 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 smash. And Mr. Winchester looks at you. Not bad.
Sir, I gotta say, I've been on the receiving end of one of your guns, and you make a fine weapon.
Did it knock you on your ass?
I still got a bit of buckshot somewhere in my leg, so yeah, it was good. The person who used it, too far away. They could have taken my leg clean off with the instrument that you designed, but handled poorly. It didn't quite do its job.
He looks at the gun in your hand. What are you firing?
Oh, I made this myself. It has a modification made by Miss Rebecca DuPont, but it's my design. Both of them are.
DuPont, you said?
Yeah. She and I have been working together a little bit in the past month.
May I?
Yeah, of course. No, I'll sling load, where I run it down my belt, reload the gun, hand him to him.
Watching this man look at your guns, it is like watching someone in the Louvre appreciate art. He turns it over in his hands and looking down the stock and examining the barrel.
Wait, I need to see if I didn't roll. No, I didn't roll any natural 3s. I was like,
the misfires, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. Shit.
And he looks at you and he goes, "I would never assume, and I know this is a interesting situation you've come to me in."
Yes, sir.
Do you mind if I have a shot with it?
Oh, please. Knock yourself out. As long as it's not
fires.
in my direction.
He fires with your gun. What have we got? A 16 and a 3?
It is.
On the gun?
The 3 is a misfire. The 16 is a wounding critical, and yeah, that's it. Because I have different stuff that does criticals, but
he fires the gun, and it hits the pot, I don't even have to roll to see if he hits. He is a very good shot.
Because it wasn't a 3.
I just need to make sure that he didn't misfire on himself and feel embarrassed about it. So he hands it back to you. You collaborated on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to know. You've come here to talk about my girl.
I have, sir. I've come for one reason and one reason only. The only thing that I want here today is the blessing to ask your daughter for her hand. I haven't known her too long, but that time has been time enough to know what I want.
I don't know you, Mr. Cassidy,
Yes, sir.
other than the fact that you're a very good shot.
Thank you, sir.
Why should I say yes? I haven't seen my daughter in almost 8 years now. She hasn't written. She doesn't come home. She worries her mama sick. And you show up with a letter. That was a nice touch.
Thank you, sir. Sir, your reasons for saying yes will be yours alone. I can't sway you one way or the other. All that I could say is that we make each other happy and we keep each other safe. And I mean that. But I don't smoke up your ass, excuse my language, but it ain't
That's
like
fine.
I'm her grand protector. She doesn't need one.
She does not.
The day I knew I was going to ask her to marry me, she was standing on a roof shooting. Well, hell, that's a hell of a story, but she was shooting like nobody else, so.
I'm hoping you're not here for the money.
I want nothing from you, sir, except your blessing. As you've seen
Roll
with
me a
my
persuasion. Go ahead.
marksmanship, I could make money on my own. Fair enough.
You can roll a persuasion check with advantage, please. Marriage and romance are the most important roles in D&D.
Yep.
Hands down.
Don't have proficiency. Okay. That is
You don't have proficiency in romance, dude?
Nah.
Everybody's got proficiency in romance.
That's
that is
not
a
true.
17 persuasion.
For legal purposes, there will be a prenup.
Of course.
A lawyer will probably visit you at some point, and Shoshana will protest. But we'll have to protect our own here.
Yes, sir.
It is not a personal decision. It is strictly business.
I understand. I got to protect my assets from you folk.
He smiles. You don't have to get married here at all. I doubt Shoshana would want to make the trip all the way back. All I ask is that I don't need to be there if she doesn't want me there. But it'll break her mother's heart if she doesn't go, if she's not invited.
I will do. I promised your wife the same. I will do my best. You know your daughter. She when she digs her heels in, that ain't moving her. But,
Certainly not.
I will do what is within my power.
I don't know where she gets that from. Not at all.
Who can say?
Well, as much as you didn't need my blessing, Shoshana's going to do whatever she wants to do. And if that is spend her life with you, then okay.
Thank you, sir.
Don't make me regret it.
I won't. But I'll send a letter about to organize things, depending on how Shoshana. And I think like the way he says Shoshana is like super unused to saying that name. Depending on how she makes her mind, but I will do my best.
You've come a long way.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a train back?
Yes, sir.
And he, for brevity's sake, he offers you a place at a local hotel for the evening on his dime. If he,
Wyatt would try to find the first train out.
Okay.
Like getting
All
the
right.
like he's like I've done my
All right.
mission. I found
Does-
I've got my mark. He's like I'm going back.
he puts his hand up.
I would shake it firmly, making eye contact.
I hope this is one of many handshakes, Mr. Cassidy.
I hope so too, sir.
All right. Have a good day.
Then I would train back, and before going to see Tulip,
Yes.
I would go and knock on the chapel.
Yeah. So,
What is it? Why it's late.
I
It's 9
apologize.
o'clock at night.
I apologize, Reverend. It is very late. It ain't happening anytime soon. Well, hopefully soon, but I got a favor to ask. I plan on getting married soon, depending on whether or not she says yes. But
Wow.
I was wondering if you would do me the honor of, doing the thing that you do, presiding over.
What
it
is
all.
that? Presiding over it. Well, of course, I'll be your officiant.
I appreciate
Seems only
that, Father.
fitting. Of
Thank you.
course. I'm honored.
Well, wish me luck. I'm gonna go ask the hardest question in my life.
I would put my shoulder on him, or my hand on his shoulder. You got this. And I cast guidance.
So
I would go
you
find
and-
Tulip.
Yeah, she
Within
is,
1 minute.
She is.
yeah, go get her.
She's at the Ambrosia. Over the past month or so, she's actually stopped taking clients. Of her own volition, something she chose to do.
I think Wyatt at no point would have been like.
Oh no.
Made any,
She knew that.
yeah.
Yeah, she would have known that. She would have known. The essence for Tulip was that work was work,
Yeah.
and that this was work, and she didn't want to do this work anymore. So she would end, but Zenziva had offered her room until she had decided what she was going to do next. It was her room, so you would find her in her place at the Ambrosia.
I would knock.
Come on in.
Hey,
Huh?
I want to start with an apology.
Why? What did you do
I told a lie. I
to
didn't-
me?
Yeah, a little white lie. I didn't have a job per se that I went on.
Then where'd you go? You were gone for like
A while.
3 weeks.
No, I know. I needed a couple things on the East Coast,
the look on her face.
and I'd pull out the ring box.
Wyatt, what did you do?
Well, I bought something nice, and I'll open the ring box, and I talked to your dad. No, I know. I feel like it was right to do to at least ask. But yes or no, I was gonna ask you anyway, but it felt like the right thing to do.
Well, at least you didn't do that stupid thing where you just expect if my daddy's going to give me permission, then you're just going to be able to marry me.
No, I was gonna ask regardless, and it was gonna be up to you. But I'm a little traditional, so I wanted to ask. He gave me his blessing.
You said you wanted to ask. Are you going to ask?
Yeah. I'm nervous as hell. Holy shit. Tulip. will you do me the honor of being my wife?
She takes the ring out of the box. She puts it on her finger. Of course, you idiot. Come here. And she like enwraps like you in the biggest hug and the biggest kiss.
So I've already talked to the Reverend, got that all lined up.
Well, you won't get married right now.
No, because I think, and this is totally up to you, 100% your choice. I think your mom definitely, but I think as much as he is loath to admit it, your dad as well would very much like to attend. But it's again, it's your call. I don't want you to feel one way or the other about it.
Small ceremony. Here.
Yeah, 100%.
No, but I want Dr. Clampton.
Yep.
Maybe a couple people here from the Ambrosia. I'm not wearing white. I'm not doing it. I won't wear white.
No, I was thinking you should wear yellow. You know, the day we first met.
Yeah, all right. And Mama and Daddy can come. I'm going to be fucking regretting that from here to next week because she is going to fuss like nothing else. But yes, they can come.
I don't have any kin of my own, so.
They'll take you in so fast. You be careful. Be careful.
That's the other thing. We probably should just rip the Band-Aid off here.
What's that?
Your dad insisted on certain legalities, which I'm fine.
Oh, for
I'm
fuck's
fine
sake.
with it. It's fine. It's fine.
And you devolve into a conversation about how she just starts like ripping into her dad for like all of the business shit. But yeah, you get married about 2 months later. It's a beautiful small ceremony. Her mother twists her arm a little bit, and her brothers and sisters, all like 7 of them, come as well. And it is a very small, beautiful ceremony.
And I would have, the only kin that I have is Hass, Marv, and Spagg. I feel like Spagg in his wedding regalia would be an absolute
His wedding
fucking
ascot?
sight.
I love it.
His wedding ascot, sash and boots.
Like no. That was special.
was- they were-
Conveying with the universe. Spagg wears clothes most of the time.
Most of the time. And it is a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. And you get married, and wedded life is bliss.
The time that I admitted that I also bought a house would also be like one of those awkward, like, also, I need
There's
to
lots
tell
of
you
swearing,
something.
and she like hits
I'm
you.
sorry, I just, I didn't know you'd say yes.
Is the house in town?
It would be like, like just a little ways away from town, but like 10 minutes walk.
Yeah. You have a beautiful small estate.
Like a little cottage.
Yeah. And the first thing she says when she sees it, well, at least it's small enough that I can keep it clean. God, not a big fucking house I grew up in. And
you don't need to clean. Like,
I know.
we can do it together. We can like hire someone. People looking for work a lot. I'm making pretty good money, just from like residuals and what I've done with the DuPont, and there's always criminals, so there's always money coming in.
She, as you walk up to the front door, she goes, "Can you carry me across the threshold, Mr.
Yeah.
Traditional?"
Yeah, of course.
So you carry your beautiful new wife across the threshold of your beautiful small house outside of Clementine. And you stick around and do some work. Spagg. What?
I'm so
In
excited.
the 9 hells.
After nursing the world's worst hangover,
Oh yeah, the come down is bad. It's so bad.
A 19-hour trip.
and a full, and we mean full body sunburn. Spagg spends the next 4 days trying to find all his gear that was just scattered to the winds.
You do end up finding it eventually.
He found his coat draped around a cactus.
That are very precariously placed. They look
100%.
like they were purposefully placed to cover your gun, but yeah, you find them.
And yeah, he spends the next several months getting down to business. And so we cut to the wedding where he shakes our young man's hand and, tells him, we're good, she's pretty and all that. But he excuses himself because he can't stay for the rest of the party. Business calls him elsewhere. And he takes a couple young men who are waiting for him at the Dog and Pony.
Cup and
miners. Yeah, that's the
No,
one.
I feel like Spagg's made his
Dog and
own.
Pony all
He's
the
made
time.
his own very small bar called the Dog and Pony.
No, actually, his interests have been focused singularly, and he makes the day and a half trip, and there the good doctor is chewing him out because they are running low on supplies.
Yes, they are.
The mine has not developed the way Spagg has liked. He is
Absolutely.
running low on his tender, but Spagg is a man of faith, if nothing else, and he hand waves away. The doctor's concerned. He's like, no, trust me, it'll all be fine. And at that point, he's interrupted. One of the teenagers who works in the mines, one of his miners, comes up to him and says, Dr. Meeball, we found something. And he takes a whole handful of the empty jars just waiting to be filled with their new tonic, their new tincture. And he looks over his shoulder at the doctor and says, see? Faith. And he's led down the newly excavated, purely a survey mission, of course, mine to make sure that there's nothing dangerous in the mine, given the blessing of Mr. Galwood. And he walks deep, deep, deep down into the mine where it's pitch black. He doesn't have a problem walking through it, though. He sees a very dim blue light at the bottom, and he says, I've reconsidered your offer. Cut to black.
You're a criminal.
Just as you hear that and you say, I've reconsidered your offer, you hear in your head, welcome home, Spagg. Everyone comes home eventually. And we can cut to black on that.
Because we
You are
fuck. I fucked the goo.
criminal.
We cut to black. That's what that means.
So as the dust settles,
Oh my god.
we say goodbye to our adventurers here in the Weird West for now. The echoes of the Shaw thought dormant, but perhaps no longer. Who knows how long they'll
Franchise,
stay
baby.
this way. And as the world moves on, you go about your lives. And one thing is for certain. The sun always rises on our dear sweet town of Clementine. And that is the end of the campaign.
Yay.
Come back for our sequel series, Too Weird, Too West, where the entire cast are fish out of waters in the Big Apple.
Thank
Oh.
you, Em, for doing such an amazing job.
Yeah.
This has been
Fantastic.
phenomenal.
Thank you for everyone for sticking with us so late. I did not think it was going to go this late, but I should have known better.
If that ain't just the rallying cry of D&D, I didn't know they'd go this late.
I didn't know it would go this late. Thank you so much to everyone hanging out with us in chat. Thank you to all our new viewers, followers,
Yeah,
and
welcome
raiders.
in.
Y'all are wonderful. We will be back on Saturday triumphantly after a small hiatus for our main campaign. We are so grateful to continue bringing you fresh, good D&D content every week. So thank you. We are going to sign off this program as we do the rest of these ones. And we are going to wish everyone to lose your bones. I hope you have a boneless rest of the week, and sending all of our love to you. Good night, everyone.
Get rid of those bones, y'all.
Lose your bones. Bye.
Nicely done, everybody.
I don't know
Well
what the outro is.
done.
We're not out just yet.
We're not done.
Oh, we're not
We're not
done?
done. We're still
Nicely
here.
done, everybody.